Tidur lah.
Sono gigi.
They can again do anything, right? It's off of protocol, not really strategies for them, as they can flow anywhere with this composition and the play style we've usually seen.
Ini.
That's why we're talking about is trying to stay in the default style that you have from Sentinels with the triple
Sinatra udah nggak main.
playing it more slowly and using your utility of the initiator.
Sinabu main tuh gunung.
Going to be pushing somewhere early like they did in the last two rounds.
Bukan dia jago ya?
You might potentially see a
Kasus.
but this time it's going to be quick.
Kasus apa? Seksual assault. Ini masih nggak frame aja Jik ya?
Holding it up towards that bridge. 2 kills on the ground and Dapper. This player standing stuck at the mid double board. Now on a 2 versus 1. Make that a 2 versus 1, but he just gets
Kasus apa
by
nih?
net.
Si
And that's the first point on
Seksual
the
assault
board
tapi
for
nggak
the guard.
kebukti.
As Sentinels head that bonus round.
Yeah,
Ceweknya di endot di depan ini tempat PISITI.
3 coming out, even blind with that fade utility
Di
from
stage ya?
Dapper.
Iya di
Guards still
stage
able to
langsung.
retaliate and get the right calls down. They had a good read on it too. Two
Kasih
leaning
sokdar.
towards A,
Kayu.
and mid lean
Dia kasih
coming in
sokdar,
from map. So nicely positioned over.
They are
there.
suppressed.
Pagi bro langsung aja di like adik-adik. Bos Ludar terima kasih udah join member. Terima kasih. Langsung di like aja adik-adik ya, berangkat.
Oh Tenjet, ulti ini Tenjet.
See how they play this. Spike is down, so this definitely means they want to read out the guard. They want to make sure when they
Srod
use
pakai
this
apaan?
initiator utility, it is
Viper.
used to the maximum.
They are so dead. We're trying to push real
Historia.
quick down. Contact
Babang, srod
di kontak anjing.
So that cancels out the tool of false, but at least it gets traded up as Shroud. But
Iya,
Saya
Tour de
player
Force
also
nggak jadi.
pushed forward, and that's good for Shroud to fall back.
Tour de
Thankfully as well for
Force.
Sentinels, they still have
The guard mainnya
3
maju-maju doang
initiators
anjing.
on the board
Rebut
to
babang
be able to try
srod.
to re-clear
Ayo,
that shop
lab
if they
subuh.
want to.
Diri sendiri
Bahagia.
langsung.
Look
Squad
at
up.
the push from Trent.
Pijit
Just
maksudnya.
by Sussy, he looks on a
Wah,
target,
dapat.
has the perfect timing,
Ya,
but the jump from
no.
Celsius, the awareness of that player to actually give the advantage.
Oh si
for
Oset
Sentinels.
ternyata lab ya?
Receiving and reading the guard right
Kira tuh
now.
besok
The
gitu.
Sentinels have seen 2 pushes, right? Already.
man.
That B push on second round, as well as elbow that came in late to the second round, and now this. They're expecting guard to be a little bit aggressive. And already fed in a few kills here. Net able to
Gila
break
si
one
Net,
man. Looks
anjing.
like they're gonna scale back on A Sentinels for the plant with Viper in.
Yang waktu itu gila banget selain saya siapa Tren aja kayak.
Watching that flank easy kill on that flanker. So Valen now as he gets spotted earlier on by that Hans. They know that he's playing towards the back of the site, speaking of Sentinels, so they play a little bit more passively inside that pit.
Yeah.
Dapper watching the back end. Should be an easy round coming in. Oh, okay, never mind.
Kalian nggak pada turun Tren.
Valen looks for the second one, but as he tries to clear towards the left side, Shazam came out of
2-0
nowhere
nih,
and
Bowen.
got that frag, and it's going to be now 3
Ini-
rounds for the Sentinels.
Nggak ada yang rewel apa
Really
piurnya ya?
interesting thing there at the end
Bang,
of the
ngepren,
round.
Bang,
I'm
gitu.
sure people looking at
Piur ngantuk gitu jadi.
Udah kalihin anjing sama
all
Srod
of
ya
the
dah.
action was in the bottom
Nggak
right.
peduli ya anjing penting nonton gitu.
End of hallway towards their side. Like look at where all the kills
Anjing
are.
ditarik
There's another
124,
kill
gila.
towards their side. Kill already happened. Another
Woi.
kill back.
Tapi si ZLC sih lagi jago banget
completely
sekarang anjing ini.
absorbing the
Parah.
push from guard here. Guard though active, looking, reading, right? They're learning in
Yang
these
pakai kayu,
rounds just
Cil.
as much as Sentinels.
Mm.
So we may see guard slow down.
Oh,
a
ini
bit
banyak
once they've
pure
got a
nobar
feel
tadi
of
ya.
seeing Sentinels
Mantap.
in this death ball. The rounds they have pushed. So both sides getting information as we start this
Dapper
game
sih
out.
udah nggak bisa lepas
It
dari
really hasn't
Phantom
told
lah.
us much yet. Right now 3-1.
Phantom kan.
Still
Srod
rotting here
juga
for
deh.
Sentinels, looking to see if we still
Srod
once again have an
masih
aggressive push.
kadang-kadang ganti
We
pandang
are,
dah.
but it's on an extremity on the
Masa sih?
A side as you see Net lurking up towards
Dapper
the
sih udah
cave.
nggak pernah ganti.
Maju
Very
terus
passively
tiap ronde
backwards
maju
spawn.
anjing.
Shroud looking for the jiggles, and the initiators are looking for control on mid.
Extremities
Mati mas
from the guard as much as they can. Net firing a few off. Looks like the iron sight was not calibrated as he wished.
Kok dia nggak pakai singularity sih?
Worse for wear.
Iya ya. Nah,
And
apa
again,
berasek dia?
Sentinels waiting. Look how far, like in spawn.
Harapan apa?
That's
Tadi
the
gua
call-
makan
that's
daging
the
sama
call in
kentang.
game, right? They're where they
Jangan
buy
lupa
guns.
langsung like
They're
adik-adik
still
ya.
where they buy, yeah. Slowly moving again in this death
Gua
ball.
nggak tidur, takut
though,
berat
keeping
jumatan. Gua
themselves
sih
safe,
bisa
being
sih
able to
bangun
anchor
sebelum
each other.
jumatan.
Sentinels move towards the B side. Really somewhat there with that push from
Cing.
the guard. But the
Set up,
shots
set
from
up.
Sentinels.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard to try to counter back.
Cakep.
mampus.
Enak gitu ya.
Bagus rekonnya anjing.
Rekonnya sajam sih.
Because we did have the null command coming out from Zelsis.
Yeah.
And this is one of the good things we're seeing from Sentinel so far, Riv, where we're actually saving this
Ye, Dapri.
for the hits. So
Lah,
use your initiator
sial, sis mati,
to
Jik.
scout out the map, find out
Iya, di
what that
belakang.
could possibly be, trying to catch some players off guard. They're trying to play aggressive. Then when it comes down to a hit, well, you still have your wall and you have
Ture
plenty of
satu
utility
anjing.
for the 2 flashes.
Double damage, double damage.
Cakep.
So there's just so
Tajam
much
juga
down
lagi,
on the
tajam
pocket
lagi.
right now for Sentinels that the guard still needs to start learning and adapting in
Apaan sih,
their
Vin?
what I would call still their comfort
Lagi
pick on
tajam
this
itu ya Aim ya.
Yeah, and
terms of
seeing the
competition.
chamber push on one side of the map tells you a lot, actually. You know, there might be another push, but
Lagi Rehan.
chances are you have a read that there's a heavy towards the left side.
Sampai
Chamber
rebahan
can
lah, anjing.
obviously teleport out
Ngantuk kan.
from that push, so you never really want to go too hard on it. And
Streaming
the
sih, Beben.
Sentinels, as you said, going in, playing the wall.
Terima
with
kasih,
Iya,
guys.
the
salah
Yo,
subuhan
yo.
nanti lah.
That was the bone, or that was the save for the guard, right? So of course Sentinels are going to take the long range firefight. The aim has been on. We see everybody getting a piece of the pie right now. Ultimates have already been used to secure a few rounds for Sentinels. We saw a very early Viper's Pit from Shroud that allowed them to secure a few, and we're back
Shroud.
to a bit of a sorted round. Tour de force here for guard.
Yeah.
We do have armor for them, though, so let's see if they can get themselves back in with this one.
This is a double off setup on defense now for the guards, so despite them losing
Great
these
call.
rounds, being 4-1 for the Sentinels, everything comes back into fruition when they have a very strong defensive.
Waduh, ya kan Chelsea.
Gak jelas, gak jelas.
Sial
This is when you
banget.
kind of like say,
Kontol,
thank God we have
masih
triple
gitu.
initiator, but it's never
Sore,
good to
ya,
lose
sore.
somebody, right? Great job by the guard. Beautiful find by Trent. This is what they need. You need to shut down Sentinels
Xerxes
who are
kau
waiting
sleeping.
for you across the map. We're like, all right, wait for this.
Teriak
You
sama si
shut
dia,
them
anjing.
down. Because guard isn't playing into the hand of Sentinels anymore. They're staying on
Ini
their own
online,
side,
offline?
hard
Right.
angles. You
Online.
double up, like you said. Really, that's the aggression that can be used. Here comes Nightfall. Looks like he hit.
Asik
And the
weapon.
Nightfall does hit net. You hear the Hunter's
Yeah.
Fury coming
Oh,
out
you
on
lu.
the
Mampus
attack
lu,
as well.
net
Also
mati
pings a
anjing.
full back. Couple of pings coming out
Gila,
at least
jadi rapi gini
from
Sentinel
the
nih sekarang nih
Hunter's Fury
anjing.
of Shazam. But still a 5 versus 4, so going
Buset,
for a
yang
flank.
ngeplan si
Full
Tenjet,
magical
anjing.
shock dart onto Tenz to do a
Agak
little bit
TP
of
pula.
chip damage, but still in the end, it's a flank, full spot situation now for the guard for the retake. Starting things off quite well with a build of kill from net. Battle onto mid and Shazam is
Yeah,
holding
Dapri.
back, but the retake back towards the site. Shrod is holding towards the angle at the ladder. That's the first kill at Berlin, but it continues to get traded out, and it continues to be a perfect retake for the guard to make it
Kalah ini
2-4
udah.
in favor of Sentinel still.
Sentinel nih.
Oh, the little clip shot Sentinels are
Stream sampai jam
hitting
6
here.
sore,
Just
Bapak, lu
look like
3,
they are
iya.
winning the round, but the
Telat
backside
gak?
there,
Telat.
Jonah P
Like-nya belum 500
moving
biasa.
in, the squad coming together,
Bang
and
Toro,
they were
iya,
able to
David.
take down just about everybody through the backside of the site when the focus was towards mid, was towards that B archway. So really nicely done there. Guard did suffer quite a bit there
Asik.
in economy, so it might be tough for them to get back into a bye.
Jangan balik ke meta ini, Jik.
the win to make sure they can keep this flow
No time
going.
out.
Because it's
Nggak
tough,
mungkin sih
right?
udah ada coach.
They're winning the rounds, like I said, but Econ's down. And it takes the spike being planted
Time out
and
sih.
then a defuse. So Sentinels is still getting their money. They're still finding a way in. And I think the guard is then considering, all right, we've played strong. We've pushed. We've held back. They're still making it in. I don't think they care about that anymore. The winning of the round is really where it ends here. Sometimes you can go at, let's stop them fully from getting in the
Coba
site.
lihat
But I
total
think this is
viewernya
Anjing,
a
berapa.
plant
Di-
and
Ya,
a
nonton
retake
udah kayak
game
ini,
guard
anjing.
coming out.
519.
Because of the
Final.
way Sentinels is drawing
komen
these
bocil
rounds out.
Iya,
and
udah kayak
really
final
finding guards
champion,
positioning
anjing.
before attacking.
Yeah. And this is a very interesting moment where the guard is actually calling the timeout when they actually had a beautiful retake going in for the team. And good methods actually to hold that Breeze map because of the solo on the mid side, getting the Hunter's Fury and double up on both ends. Now that you actually lose the duel de force, will you try to go for a double up again? Because you haven't shown that hand yet, and they are going for it with net going for the operator this round.
And that again kind of
No duelis ya.
I wouldn't say
Kayaknya rata
reaffirms
5
a
juga.
retake. You want to get a first pick because if all 5 make it in and you're double op retaking, then it gets dicey. Right? You're looking to use the op as a shotgun, and it doesn't really work like that for some. Viper's Pit's going to stall out an A hit here to start things off, but again, Sentinels sticking together. They don't really have a lurk with this composition.
Yeah, the positioning is so good if you're looking at this radar from the guard. The operas are walking towards the B main, towards mid. You have the Silva playing towards the back A halls. and then you have the Viper spin in the front, but you're facing against 3 initiators in the front A site. Now, a beautiful flash, but it's still Saya player that lands still on the Dapper. Valen answers back onto the A main 2, holding the top. The recon dart comes out, and that's a spike down as well. But we are trading back. It's Shroud and
Gila
Tens.
juga si Tens anjing.
An advantage coming in for the guard. As the recon dart comes out, trying to flush out Shroud, bringing out Poison Orb, and is getting sprayed at the same time. Tens goes for a plant.
Wih, dapet sih.
Oh, he gets
Terus smoke. Terus smoke.
Iya anjing.
Almost evens it up. It's the operator for Tens. It feels like comfort. It feels like there's one shot on
Menang
the
anjing
net.
ini jadinya.
Menang
It
jadinya
looks so
anjing.
much better at a 2v1.
Dua orang
Now it's
bantai 4
Tens,
orang.
or Trent, should I say, on the clutch. 2 versus 1 does have the Aldrone to work with.
Muter liat di
Menang ini
situ.
pasti.
Try to go for this
Iya.
clutch right here, but the re-lurk is coming back here on
Oh
the
my
mid.
gosh.
Now we have to tap onto that
Dinamik
spike
duo ini
potentially.
namanya.
Double swing. The first peek out, the headshot onto Shroud, but he's still looking
Jangan
back
kalah
towards
dong.
doors. We still have an opportunity here for
Aman,
Tens.
Kak.
Comes in for the off
Expect.
kill for the mid doors, and that
Gila.
is a 2-on-4-1
Gila.
by Mike
Kita lihat
Tyson.
komen.
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson.
The haymaker thrown by the Mike Tyson combo. Oh, that puts him down
Mike
a lot
Tyson.
for sure. 5-2. What a reposition as
Totems.
well. Because Shroud was in halls, so that's the first reposition.
Anjing juga ditahan dulu.
Was in cave. Or the cave.
Main
So that's the
pasti
next
deh.
reposition. You don't
Iya.
think they're going
Takut anjing.
Turun ya
that
hands.
far
Like dulu
around.
hands.
They played
Asik.
the timing
Biar
just
FYP.
right. Great communication there. Tens with an operator, still
tarik
Tens with
and
an operator. He's got it
Mike
in hand
Tyson.
now. It becomes dangerous. Let's see if Sentinels can still keep putting these frags on the board. A push from Jonah P here.
Average
And Guard
Jonah
being a
ngeras
little
mulu,
aggressive again here in round 8.
Yeah. We've seen those plays before from other players where the underhand
Asik.
throw could catch a lot of
Gumpet-gumpet
players
nih
off
jadi
guard
pohon.
towards that front B, but
jadi
again,
batu deh.
Maju
Gitu.
mulu kesini nih anjing nih orang nih.
Iya, iya.
in the beginning of these rounds, just playing where you're mentioning
Udah
before
kebaca
with
kali ya, Cil,
where
ya,
they're buying
kalau
their
gitu ya.
guns.
Baca orang
But look
maju
at this
mulu.
push from Net,
Di
and
pick
the
sama
offering
101,
being held
2.
by
Udah.
Shroud, but Net wins it.
Lah,
Mati deh.
apa yang terjadi?
Kaget.
Spicy shot.
Kaget tuh pasti.
Observer
Sampai situ
ya.
deh.
Let's see just how necessary that wall is for Sentinels to get into
Oh,
these
yeah.
rounds.
Observer
A lot
ngantuk.
relies on the
Tapi masuknya
shoulders of
susah
Tens
kali
now,
duelis.
right? An opening pick for them is the way to even this up. So far, he looks for a mid push. And again, we saw this sometimes from Sentinels before, where they draw out the rounds. Usually they'd aggress a little bit more. Sick would be in somebody's face a little bit faster here, but it does seem like they're relying on the guard telling them a little bit of information
buff
before
keluar,
there's
anjing.
movement. This death ball moves once again towards A. They don't have enough members to
30
split.
seconds
Tidur ya.
left.
We'll see once we get
Rebahan.
Shazam up here how they can drone themselves in.
It's actually great delay.
Dapri.
Now the gun also sticks out too, but unfortunately the headhunter does not connect from Net.
Segitu
So that's
gerakannya
another
masuknya,
4 versus
anjing.
4, and
Awas.
because of all this utility, you could still try to make it through by all these flashes. Off shot miss could have been a crucial one, but this allows now Sentinels to get a plant down. The Owl drone trying to re-clear that does tag onto a member of Sentinels, forcing him just to hold back towards bricks. As Zelsis is watching back towards that right side
Crosshair
pyramid.
respects.
We still have great positioning to crossfire for Sentinels, and we're also flooding back. Nice flash from Jonah B, but it's still Shazam that gets these kills. And looking at it so
Dah.
far with those
All
good
safe
kills
dah.
from
Udah.
Shazam, you already see Saya player falling back to save that operator, so that is going to be a round coming in for the
Angkat.
Sentinels. As you see the economy being solo for the guard, they need these.
Gua masang
weapons going
200.000
into the
Cil.
next.
Controller down, Vansili, right? And
Yes,
we
you
saw
would.
Dapper kind of just
Oh,
run
yeah.
in there. And then we saw a few other flashes coming in as well. We did see Zelsis throw 0 point back towards the right side to make sure that they kind of
berapa ya?
deterred anybody on that
Berapa,
for
2 juta?
defense of the guard. But they walked into that site, pushing the round timer down, putting odds in their favor. The guard wouldn't want to take a fight, be someone to go down and completely
Ben,
throw
apa,
the
apa,
map
ganteng.
unbalanced. So every member gets on without having Shroud's wall. Like Sentinels are just kind of playing those odds in their
Internet
favor.
aman-aman,
just
Raihan,
enough,
terima kasih
even when they're
12-nya
down in
Raihan.
round. And we see Shroud going
Baru tahu
down,
nama JT
the
saya
guard
player lah.
up in a
Dari
5
lama, dari kapan tahu
round,
itu.
and they can't convert it again. They've had so much trouble doing that.
And the trouble that they had was also during the whole
FX.
stage of stage 2, which we actually see the guard kind of like drop off in those advantages that you had on this early 5 versus 1. So yeah, it continues to be a lingering factor right now for the guard, at least in this very map. But for Sentinels on the other end, though, looking very good on the executions with this triple initiator, getting these plants, starting things off with a Viper's Pit on the left side. Another conversion that starts off early for Trent. As he gets the first blood for the team, it gets immediately traded out. And now he's trying to go for this flank. He's not really traded out, but at least they've evened up the tally for Sentinels is what I'm trying to get to. And with that, though, with this pit, we're starting to hold very slowly for Sentinels.
Got 9 rounds in, and they pull the trigger. Holy moly, what a fast round for Sentinels. Guard with a great reaction so far on a fast push, but they read Trent. They kick him down, Vansili. Dapper now looking his next. Frag after he gets to Vandal.
Celsius with the underhand throw outside of the
Bagus dia repost ini.
onto Jonah P, and unfortunately Net is going to be by himself now as another one falls for the guard. Inside the pit, Celsius spots for the third one of this round, making it 7-2, and that's to add another one of these Sentinels plant conversions, almost making us think that we're watching 100 Thieves play from stage 2.
Selamat pagi para
You mentioned them. I was just about to bring
like aja adik-adik ya.
That said when you play against Sentinels, you get this. You almost play against every play style at the same time. The ability to change it up, be fluid and versatile. And there we just saw them completely flip the switch after showing guard a very Navi style of play where they were planting with 1 second every time. So now the guard has to wonder, do we continue to push or are we going to see the death ball right away? It looks like they'll keep this
otomatis 90 ke atas
and actually hover towards B this time.
Udah end-game bet, sudah wajar.
Do side to side. It seems like they're starting to favor A more, especially when 10s will have the tour de force, which they just see the knee of 10s.
Dan Macbeth dia main, aduh, ekonominya jelek. Dibuang.
Jiggle peek, just try to spot something, bait out a shot, so we don't really know that Net is really watching it here with the operator. Hens with the beautiful Headhunter. We're starting things off with an execution. It's going to be fairly quick towards the A-holes. Josika would take control of the door. And he goes the front to swing out from Net, and he connects onto that kill. Another first blood coming in for the guard, but the tag from the Allen come out. Zelsis trades it back. A 4 versus 4 as Sentinels have taken over the A site.
Kelihat kayak berdiri gitu sih serem banget anjing. Di pinggir pintu.
Versus 2. Shroud and Shazam. Plant on the right side of the pyramid, and the wall comes up to allow Shazam to take position inside sight.
Guards just setting up garrisons here at the end. You saw, like you said, under bridge, there were 3 members just ready to take fights. Beautiful coverage and anchoring of each other here, making it tough for Sentinels. Now Shroud and Shazam standing tall. Will they be able to do it? Asaya player connects with Shazam.
Versus 1 for Shroud. Nice flash, actually. Not fully blinded by that one, but it's enough to make it a little bit busy for him to watch on his POV. So a nice little 3 versus 1. A conversion that finally comes into from a 5 versus 4.
Jam 6 ada kok di tanda suruh jadwal harusnya.
But overall, when you're looking at this game here, for the Sentinels, if you're a fan of Sentinels, you're actually happy that they've gotten 7 rounds on their attack so far. They average like, what, 4 on their attacker rounds during the stage 2 group stages and the playoffs too. So it's nice to see that they continue to score. We see some positives out of all of these roster changes and moves that we see on their attack side so far.
Absolutely, and impressive both teams. Guard on Breeze showing a bit of adaptation, reading how Sentinels were playing when they're basically getting hit with everything. So it's good to see the Guard as well being able to show us a little bit of gusto. 2 more rounds and they'd make this a pretty even matchup here to start off on Breeze. Oh, they know each other.
Kalau ditembak anjing banget.
Dapper starts it off. There's again your initiator getting that first frag away. Sentinels has played the game before. It's things you don't expect. Just these dry peaks to come out here. Dapper had used a bit of utility there, but it was to clear space and make sure.
Dapper sih lagi berani banget dia nge-dry pick gitu.
We tried something new for the Guard in terms of the push from the chamber, which is now on that B site, punished by Dapper. We potentially could have seen the first battle on mid where Saya player, we still haven't figured out. Nice still from Trent. That's on top of B wall. Headshot onto Tens. A knife to clear out the site for a bit. Jonah P holding the corner towards that ladder and gets that frag onto Dapper. Come up on defense to run that clock down as Jonah P gets.
Ini mah ngejar di defense sih, Jik.
Tapi oke sih, 7 mah udah oke anjing.
Iya anjir buat attack.
Good call on the Jonah P there. That 0 point kind of just slaps
enak dia ini.
Saw one try to come through, but it did not work. They thought they might be able to outfire Jonah P. Trent, pretty good success with the Hunter's Fury throughout the match, and now they've figured out this kind of this strategy. Why Sentinels go hard, or they'll push, or they'll show one thing and just look for utility. Guard doesn't buy it anymore. Really good read.
Ya.
B and Valen.
Gak bisa nge-plan dah srod mati mah.
Yeah, they were trying to go for that lurk
Srod,
on the
srod.
tunnels, but Valen
Kurang ya,
was
Ju.
on top of that, especially after the underhand throw came out from the
Kebanyakan
poison
main
orb.
game
You already
ini
knew
dia,
here for the
Cil.
guard
Di
that
spandal
we had to
diberi
commit
dulu.
into the B site. So very well done on that hold for
Alright,
the
yeah.
defender half of the guard. That's one of those moments where it looks
Kebanyakan
like it was
main
a
WoW
very
deh, Cil,
solid hold
kayaknya.
and not allowing Sentinels to
Tapi kan
back
emang
one.
dia basicnya RPG dulu.
Iya sih.
So the operator
zaman awal
does
banget ya.
seem to be
Dari sebelum
weapon of
streaming
choice is
anjing.
grabbing some rounds here. Definitely allowing
Wow. Tai
guard
banget
to
nih. Raukus
shut
marah-marah.
down this Sentinel strategy at least. Because a lot of what's
Srod.
happening from Sentinels is they're wide
Cing.
swinging. But their
Tolong.
shots are
What are you
on
doing,
point.
Shroud?
And
Ada yang
clearly
minus,
you
anjir.
saw in the first few rounds not using Shroud's wall as you were talking
Go
about
back
to
to
keep
Twitch
those
short.
angles open.
Gitu, anjing.
They're now being met with the guard coming online a little bit. Great plays here.
Ih,
the
anjing
awareness.
spalinnya.
Oh,
Anjing. Itu transfer spray ya?
really
di-
nice break.
nggak
That's
di-
down.
Enggak di
man.
reset
cancel apa
recoil
dia?
dulu.
That ran.
Oh, di
Di
reset
dulu.
Sentinels will
Yeah.
call a timeout here. What to do on the final round?
Gitu,
Will we get
Jul,
another
nembak.
flip the switch? They
Ajarin
go
dong, Ci,
super
main
hard.
valor,
It
Ci.
is going to be an all rifle round.
Tapi gua nggak bisa
Maybe they
sih.
go for a mid hit
Spray
right
spray
here
nggak
as
bisa
they're
gua.
looking towards that A side,
Typing.
but it does look like they'll all funnel into
Iya.
the top area.
Yeah, I mean the pickup from Shroud just casted a huge shadow over, for example, Zelsis being picked up, Danny also being picked up as an
True.
analyst to help out Raucus, and on top of that,
Time out jadi stream gini, Jik.
stats guy being Weltis that got poached for clout and joining Sentinels to be the stats guy for Sentinels.
Ya,
There
baper.
you see that into this revamp of the Sentinels outside of like a huge pickup into Shroud. So this
Yeah.
timeout being very important here, but a lot of support to help out Shazam. Zelsis
Ketuaan.
on top of that.
merah,
is
anjir.
very
Jago-jago
similar
banget
to
ya.
Diam gua mati.
used to be
Halo,
in
halo,
IGL
halo.
At some point. So
Aman,
that's
aman, aman,
another
aman.
second voice to help out Shazam into the development coming
Oh,
outside.
udah hijau
of
lagi
this
anjing,
timeout.
OBS gua
And
ngebug.
Edgar juga
It starts
nggak
very
jago-jago
slow
banget
once
sih.
again, though, Riv. We're still trying to
Enggak.
prod out the beginning of the round for the Sentinels, and the guard understands that, so they're just staying back with the operators that they have.
Dibandingin
Double
Sentinel
up
mah
once again, by the way.
2-8 kali ya.
It is very much so.
Enggak juga
Yeah,
sih.
just to touch on Zelsis once more again. Actually, they're going to be
60-40
hitting A
lah.
here, so we'll hold that
44
thought.
dulu.
Yeah.
0 point comes
Beautiful
in to
0
shut
point.
down. Yeah, that grabbed a huge handful of numbers. Still seems like they want to encroach, though. They kind of play against what you think would happen. Oh, we slowed them down. No, they're trying to come in. Side player reads it. There's the
mampus
first
lu.
one and almost two.
Mati nih orang.
Back there too to fight back against Zelsis. Another headshot. Tapper spike is now down in front of the A site. Jonah P under attack at the staircase. This trend is down to 18 HP. Beautiful
Wah.
guard allowing Jonah P
Yeah.
to get that kill. Leaving
Wah.
Shroud by his lonesome. And
Yeah.
Balik ya lah.
with a 3K
Tim mulu
into the
tense,
round
anjing.
to end the half.
Goblok.
7-5. It
Chamber
started
juga.
off well for the Sentinels, but now we
gua-
actually have our game in our hands. It's time to go for a break because we want to come back for more action after this.
Oke.
NA siapa aja?
Mereka
NA siapa aja,
begini.
Dik?
Apa aja?
Tim Erik.
Banyak, ada Hunter Thief, ada
Yang maksudnya yang terkenal gitu. Ya,
Oh,
oke
terkenal
lah
semua
gitu.
C9.
Oh, C9, Cloud9 terus
C9, Face Clan, EG, NRG,
Clan,
Hunter Thief.
Energy Undertale.
Mungkin yang lu jarang denger ini The Guard sama Shopify.
Oh iya.
Shopify Rebellion. Tapi isinya abang-abangan CS juga.
Kok TSM nggak ikut ya?
Tidak masuk sirkuit poinnya. Karena ini
Oh.
buat ke Valorant Champion, turnamen paling gede TI-nya lah.
Ya, ini lah ya.
Hmm.
Perex ikut kan, tapi kan udah masuk.
Perex
apa
udah
kan?
nunggu,
Udah
nunggu di
kan?
Champion.
Anjing.
Semenit nih anjir. Sabar
Sayang nih GVR, Cil nggak ikut, Cil.
Nah, ikut nanti.
Ikut, Cil. Ikut,
Nanti
Cil.
Ikut nanti, tenang.
Minta buff dulu ke KD. KD buff. Yuh. Dengerin lagu, bah.
For Sentinels, like
Gue pengen nonton offline lu, Cil.
Wah, tiba-tiba GVR turunnya di TA sih gua berangkat ya.
Asli, men.
Ya ada turun online, offline anjing.
Ya, makanya champion, Cil, langsung.
Tahun depan
Dimanapun
kayaknya udah
kita-
mulai ada nggak sih, Jik? Udah di
Dimanapun
turnamen
kita
regional.
kejar, Cil.
Nggak tahu, udah tergantung ini. Kalau lagi naik lagi ya gimana?
Ditarik tadi 147.000 anjing. Gator juga nonton pasti nih.
Lebih banyak daripada official ya, tarik ya anjing emang.
Apa?
Lebih banyak dibanding official.
Iya. Tahi.
During watch parties, you only roll around when I have high viewership, and it's during the watch party. So yes,
Feeling
when
lu
you come in,
Stewie masuk
you
lagi nggak,
own
Dik?
the
Kalau
watch
misalkan
parties.
dia follow terus rajin segala
Okay.
macem.
Yeah. So if you're
Oke,
only
dia terakhir
coming
udah
around
ngomong pensi ya?
90K,
Siapa?
then yeah, it's watch party. But
Iya
if
kan?
you
Tapi
come around like during
balik lagi
normal
kecil.
stream,
Kalau dia lagi Valo terus gitu.
I'm a player of the game. I'm a game
No,
player.
Tergantung sih kayaknya.
Masih muda kan dia 24 ya.
Questions and yes, it
Tergantung
looks
yang
good
ngajak
on
siapa.
the agent changes that we currently have from Sentinels.
Yang ngajak
Yes,
tarik
playing
gas
cockpit
pasti
for
itu
the
mah.
guard, but at least we came out
Saya bakal
swinging
bantu
and
pro
we
masih
have
gak
a
tahu.
Apakah
Tariknya,
Masih
tariknya
inaktif.
mau anjing.
Enggak, kalau yang ngajaknya tarik gitu. Gas
I'm
kali ya,
so glad
abang-abang
guard was
ini kan
able to come
soalnya
back at
tarik.
5 there. Sentinels were looking strong. Guard battled through the economy. Battled
Si tarik
through
bangsa
their
juga
own
ngomongnya
demons.
tadi ngebacain
We
siapa
have
itu
a
ya?
game
Justin
on
apa
our
siapa
hands.
tuh?
That's all we wanted
Lu
to
datang ke
start
sini.
off this series,
Kalau
to
gue
start off
lagi
the
kipernya
LCQ,
rame, kalau
especially with
udah
Sentinels
kalau ada
and the
watch party
Guard.
doang
Yeah.
ada.
Very big shot onto Dapper to start. One initiator down. And this is big. one of the win conditions we came into this tournament with was that Guard converts their 5v4. They're the second best team right now in LCQ at being able to achieve
Sampai ngobrol,
this.
ngobrol,
The
Ben. Kita
conversion
ngobrol,
rate
Ben.
is not as good.
Bagus nonton.
Well, at least we have a nice flash, shot dart combo.
Ah,
So you see
telat.
that that's coming out here for Sentinels as well, using a little bit of that utility to try to retake towards the A site. Now with a 0 point. Recon in the back. We know one is playing towards bricks. Another
Yeah.
flash available for Zelsis. Goes for that underhand. Comes
Eh
back.
itu Jeltis.
Fully blinded.
Oke,
Yes,
untung
going
nggak
to be
sepi.
Trent, and thankfully he was fully blinded. But that Zelsis still on
dibadanin
his
dong.
own. Connects onto another kill onto Net, but we're
Anjir.
swinging through as he's reloading.
Ya,
and that's
ini
a
masalah,
perfect
men.
pistol round coming in here for the guard.
Big two. Pistol rounds, one apiece right now between these two teams, as Sentinels did pick up their first one, so the Guard answer back. They'll get a bonus. They'll tie it up here.
Kan si
See
Tren
if
kan
Sentinels get
anjing.
anything funky for a defensive strategy.
Si
that
Ucu
looks
juga
like
lagi follow
mid
mulu ya di
will
kayak si
be
Ucu
how
di kemarin
Guard
gue liat tuh.
kind of
Si
spreads
mana?
this one out just a
Si
little bit.
Ucu?
Spikes down to
Siapa
start
lagi?
this
Ucu?
round off. So they're
Oh
actually
iya, lagi
maybe
balik follow.
considering Sentinels will get a push onto this round here.
Nama
Strategies
Zelsis
are
waktu itu.
covered. You
Gue
can see
lihat.
on the left side, Nets getting ready to focus on
Ya.
Sajam terakhir gue pernah liat dia main sama
Seragam.
Masa aja sama Jeltis sama
What I'm
Apalagi?
really liking so far as we have
main
this
Reina.
from Sentinels is just to actually shine a little bit of light
banyak
onto
kutil dah,
like,
CU
these players that we think
Aim.
and we talk about having less experience from the guard. We already saw in that preview of this matchup where Valent's talking about, I'm playing against one of my
anjing FPX
finals
Rijik.
here in the
Yeah.
attack FPS scene, being
Diem dulu
Shroud.
coba.
Net is also very young coming
Takut
into the
di-push.
scene. And when we've also criticized Net on his chamber plays, mainly saying, yeah, he's better on Killjoy, play your comfort picks. I like that he's still pushing forward by himself on the defense, not letting like the name and the numbers and the viewers affect his playstyle to be like, I'm going
Sini
to
Asen
confidently
Asen
push
sih
it
seru
down,
banget nih.
get the information from our team, and on top of that, getting these
Chamber kalau
kills.
menang gitu
Panhas
berarti dia
cah, thank you
beli
Legend member ya.
ya.
Everybody else is
Apa?
It's just a feeling.
Si Chamber
You
kalau
have to
misalkan dia
do.
menang round,
Beli
dia belinya
headhunter dia.
beli
Fake
headhunter
arrow
ya.
towards A. They don't get a ping, but they know somebody's close enough to shoot it.
Bonus,
So,
kalau menang lagi bonus baru
that
beli
would kind of
senjata.
tell,
Gitu.
especially where the shot was from.
Iya.
Tergantung sih, Jul.
Tergantung sih.
Deepness of Sentinels
Gue biasanya kalau
defense
pakai
this time.
chamber nih misalkan
Round
ronde
getting
pertama.
drawn out once again. We're gonna have a B hit.
Kalau peluru
It's
pistolnya
1-1.
udah sisa berapa?
Quick kill, but that's
Biasanya
a
bisa beli
stack
Vandal sama
Sentinels
armor
on the A site,
half tuh.
so
Armor setengah.
I don't think
Untuk
that
Vandal
Nets
ya.
expected the flood
Kayak
to
FPX ya,
start
ini.
into this B
Kalau
site.
flip
Kalau
jeder
bisa beli
Rijik.
Vandal,
Pistol
beli
run.
Vandal.
Pistol run beli ghost sama headhunter satu. Flip jeder.
And that's two players moving out towards
Apa
the
sama
center,
trap,
towards
sama
that
trap ya.
funnel. And there's one watching
Tadi
a
sih yang gue
late,
nonton
late
dulu tuh
flank.
dik sayang.
Mati headset gua
Boom
anjing.
tuh.
Did we just? I feel like the first round and the
Sayang
second round have been the
banget.
same. Like
Yeah.
the guard mirrored what Sentinels did. They crouched and scaled onto A. Now we have a late round run into B without any coverage because the wall's at A.
Nonton
and
tadi
it's
tuh
just
si
a
Boom
firefight
kayak
because
nge-throwing
you know you
anjing
have a weapon
chambernya
upper
yang
hand.
di hookah yang
Yeah.
terakhir.
Little we can do anything you can
Oh,
do.
dia skip track
situation
doang nih,
here to
anjir.
Start off our first
Dapat
rounds,
Dapri.
and that's going to be some nice damage.
Maju Jeltis.
Not losing too much with just a headhunter there, and Valen picks up a few with Trent as well.
Close in, do the damage, do as much as you can. Can you get a third into the round? Not going to work out, and just like that, we're tied on a 7-7 scoreline. And we kind of invested a little bit into the guard, right? They had 3 Bulldogs going into that previous round and kept those Bulldogs alive into this round
Masih
here.
pendem
it
ya,
can still
srod.
be a heavy fire round with, it looked like Side Player was going to go for another Bulldog trying to keep the
Augie.
card
Yeah.
at some point even, but he decides to go for the Vandal instead. On the other end, though, big test for Sentinels as they have to play the defense on a triple initiator here.
Kebampar juga
And see
seret.
if this is
Mainnya di
going to work
GH.
out in their favor.
So instant walls being put
Padahal
up
sih pentem mulu ya.
right away. So this
Buset,
allows
Dik.
you to feel out the map.
Pandal battle
You've
pass
already
zaman
put
kapan nih?
something on the plate of
Oh, iya.
Sentinels on defense. So guard can decide to play around that. It does seem like Trent feels comfortable in halls. It's the second time
Ya
we've
ID
seen
yang
him
gue jual ada
extremity
tuh
there
panel ini.
as they start to work mid. So now guard, this did not happen for Sentinels. I don't think we ever saw Sentinels work mid once. So guard here trying to pressure the kill.
Yeah, if anything, it was only a late lurk. But
Buta
here
deh.
comes that split in. A couple of flashes coming out on defense, but it's still going to be Shroud trying to hold his ground now. Gets
Uhuy!
taken down, but he does
Uy,
get the
uy,
ball
uy,
back up to
dapat-
Jordan. Headshot onto his player
gila,
before
babang
he gets traded
srod.
out. A 2 versus 2.
Gila.
Zeus is battling at 35 HP at the staircase of the A site. Spike is now moving in, looking for a plant, and it will be successful now, courtesy of Valen. While Net is rotating all the way
Masa
back
dapat
towards
bonus sih
cave.
di guardnya,
The
woi.
Spike planet for both of these players as we're retreating back towards the cave with the toxic screen about to come down. Oh no!
Hands. Oke.
No, I didn't like that. I did not like that at all. Out caught in position, out of position rather.
Satu lagi di line up
Maybe
deh.
it was a miscommunication.
Buruan.
Call it out potentially.
Yeah.
The ball was coming down and Net got caught with his pants down. Thankfully, Valiant could play the pulse line up. ADS onto tens.
Ih,
Oh, itu
anjir,
headshot,
hampir
anjing.
anjir.
That 13 HP remaining will get to defuse, and that's
Wah, pas
settles.
banget ya, Jik.
But an
Nggak ada yang masih lama.
Pas, pas.
Masih lama, masih lama.
I think just at the last moment, I thought they were timing the gas well. Maybe didn't call that it was going down. That caught out, but then stayed out. Kind of thought he might. Well, he's like, all right, you missed, I missed.
Terus
Let's keep
kevalot
fighting.
Iya,
Sometimes you make that decision, and it did not pay off.
Yeah.
Ini
Honestly,
anaknya
that looked
Srod.
like the guards round with Sentinels having to come in, a wall
Srod,
up as well to
anjing.
pass through.
Cerot
Bit of
namanya.
damage, and the firefight just continued. So the mid play overall actually stopped there, and then we see now.
Ada PS cam
the
nih.
reason I mentioned that is the difference in how we're seeing these teams already play.
Ya apa
Mas
kagak ada
Joms
PS cam
kemana
anjir.
diliatin,
Guard
anjing.
wants to work mid a bit. It may
Salah ya.
still happen, and we'll see if Sentinels reacts to that mid pressure. Already looking for two towards elbow for Sentinels.
The econ's low for Sentinel, so we tried to go for something
Jump
explosive
six
on the
inactive.
mid.
Lagi kurang ini.
And we
Apa?
do have the defenders retreating back for a bit.
Tens.
Controlling more towards elbow to play close
Tahu deh,
range here
belum
with
dikasih
the
AWP.
Spectres that we currently have, a Bulldog, a Guardian. Mind you, again, this is a round that Sentinels won previously. Their economy is fully broken versus what the Guard has to offer this round.
Hence Guardian long range down that B hall. He's ready for someone to peek. Quick haunt over the top. So they've cleared everything
sick.
left extremity. They can play defense on A now. Sentinels has done a pretty great job.
Anjing,
They
OTT.
play-
Lihat Tensnya.
to
See how
fall
they
back
play
towards
off it.
B. This is where Tens is
Cakep.
moving forward. They heard him, but he's still ADS is down. Body shot
Tembaknya
onto
gitu
Net.
banget, anjing.
Dapper looking for
Iya.
info with the Prowler towards mid, and they still hear the footsteps. Tens trying to
Oh, Tens.
retreat if he can, and could still blow up the Headhunter. In
Eh.
the first swing out, but it's still going to
Kok
be
dia nggak
Trent
pulang,
that
Dik?
wins that
Apa?
first duel against the
Kok nggak
defender
tele
on the
pulang?
B side.
Kagak ada
Slightly
tele.
open for now. Recon Dart to try to answer back. Also the null command coming out here on the defense from Zelsis, but Trent still drops Shazam. Now in the back of the
Zelsis.
site, Zelsis with the Vandal. Underhand throw, looking to peek back towards the ladder, and he does spot a few.
Oh, nice.
Now he does have support from Charlotte coming out from McDonald's while
Oh,
Dapper coming out tunnels,
bagus
and
banget
they are
Zelsis.
closing in on the guard, leaving Saya player, that Guardian by himself on the attack. And it's just going to slow down for a bit. 60
Masa menang.
Nice
Wih.
flick there
Wah,
onto Dapper.
anjing, flick-flick
Looking to go
Korea
for
ini
the
ya.
fire shot into the corner, but a nice high-low for
Gila.
Sentinels
Bisa
just to
gitu
stop
loh.
the bleeding. And that's Sentinels with 2 rounds in a
Anjing,
row.
aimbot anjing.
Sentinels making a decisive decision to
Ngeri.
push on a part like a scattered by both teams, which means it's a round where if you go to the
Take a
front
one
of
tap.
your opponent and you're able to take them out like Sentinels did, it becomes so hard economy wise. What a push down towards B, and you called it. The fake ran right into the rotation.
Jet,
of
Oti.
Sentinels.
Yep.
Guard was not expecting that to happen this early in the game from Sentinels' defensive side.
Gua nih,
As we
Zelsis.
saw, they're down to Marshals and Sheriffs now, and Sentinels pulled
Majuin.
away by 2.
Asik banget ya, Jik.
Try to go for something quick here to start things off on the defense. Underhand throw. We also have the dual defense looking back towards the A main. The tap on the floor for the battle here, and it's connected
Oh,
onto Trent. But that leaves Zelsis on his own.
Nggak trap doang, nggak mau.
Playing the numbers to their advantage. We like that. Valen has lurked.
Ya.
A cap.
Ulti
Should I say
dah.
that caught Zelsis off guard. So that's a great way to get the kill.
Gak
Activate the
punya
Flame
smoke.
Storm and make it a 4 versus 4 while we still have the toxic screen up and available for the attack of the guard.
That's 2 activated in this round. You talked about the orb touch with the shop.
anjing.
Dapper
That
gak
was
boleh
the
mati.
activate with a force
Dapper
up.
gak
Now
boleh
they have
mati.
2 priority ultimates in that Blade Storm and 2
Saya Dapper lihat orang, Srod
Definitely
wall up.
could look to play this a lot slower. A little more pressure on Net here. You can see Saya ready to answer on the
Ya,
anchor
dia
of
off angle.
these plays. And it's just a 1-2-3 across the map for Sentinel's defense here. They're playing for the retake. They know they're against big alts. There's no reason to try to play the 1v1 right now.
Yeah. Trent being
Anjing
down.
feeling tuh ya Jik ya kayaknya Jik ya.
To try to clear it for a
Yeah.
bit. They choose to look back towards the ladder. So that
Nice.
that would swing out. And unfortunately doesn't work out in their favor with that flash. That
Kena
is going to
foto,
be the
man.
card, making it a 4 versus 3. Still a
Gagal lagi tuh kayaknya.
flat down for the economy into the next round. Net though answers back onto Shazam. It's a 3 versus 3 somehow. As Dapper is still stuck in the back of the site, looking to get pushed in, looking to get the wall bang shots, and Dapper is looking for that swing. It's a close range battle against Valen, who's
Kabar
just
dia,
around the
cakep.
corner. And as he goes for that swing,
Roti aja berangkat.
in that area,
Wuih.
forcing out at least a retake from the Nightfall,
Chamber deep.
as Net still stays
Chamber
alive for a
deep.
bit,
Dalam.
only for a bit.
Di back dulu lah.
Dapper answers back,
Hey.
and he was the solo anchor into the site, and he stays alive this whole time. That was pretty good.
Oh my, yeah, exactly. Like I said, they wanted to play the retake, and that takes so much
Emang
discipline.
role-nya pas suruh pasif ya si Srod
Dapper
ya.
played that
Berdeep net sama
ridiculously
Ten.
well. It's so
Balik.
easy to say, oh, I'm getting peaked, I'm getting pressure, but he found a way to stay safe, knowing when to play the kill. And like you said, long enough to secure a Nightfall in the situation, which is ridiculous. He was the only one that could really allow those ultimates to be broken through the site if he got those 2 frags.
Yeah.
Like, literally, Moon's aligning their guard, trying their best. But
Basecamp-nya
could
kalah
not
mulu,
make
Jik.
the round happen with Tour de Force and Blade Storm. And that's a round now pulling away again for Sentinels, and they don't have to worry about those ultimates for quite a while. There's a Viper's Pit to start things off at A for Sentinels. That means they can focus a little bit toward B here. See the
Sikat pit ya.
initiators of Fate
Uy!
and KO ready to come back if necessary, but right out the gate.
The 3 players pushing up towards the mid doors for the guard. Easy trade against Shroud, and the player advantage also on the attack. Plant coming down for the pulse plant at the default spot once again, where they could play the pulse plant lineups. You currently moving all the way back. Valen still has his 2 snake bites, and as he actually brings back up that fuel, allows the wall to come back up, and now they retreat back into
Mending
the
lag mulu.
cave-in.
Ini
This is
Valorant-nya
such a strong position.
30 FPS anjir,
Sub
ini
net
kocak dah.
towards mid. You have an alarm bot looking back towards that flank.
Jangan lupa
This is
like
just gonna
adik-adik
be
ya
looking
yang
to
baru
be
join.
one-off simple utility from the guard. Let's see if we can actually get the retake from Sentinels.
I wonder what his countdown is. We might be
Iya,
able to
susah
actually
jadi
get
dia
this
kali
to a
nggak dikasih
fast beat. They're going to have to force defuse it.
Pas 1.000.
Here comes the ultimates. They're trying to flick across. Valen takes
Ada
themselves
waktu.
out.
Siapa tuh yang itu?
Great organization in the
Satu
ultimates
bugil.
here. Sentinels knows they
Mas
can't go
kabugil
for
kan
it.
dia.
Are forced to back off. So still, even after losing pivotal ultimates on the side of guard, they're still finding ways here to make sure they can get themselves around. That was big to be able to
Wah,
knock down.
OT
Sentinels
sih ini,
on
men.
this round.
Yeah. The guard have been looking
OT
back
ini, men.
on the wind that are
OT,
taking
man.
up here towards the A site for to play the pulse plant, because a lot of these times Valen gets a plant and still stays alive too on the pulse
Berapa
plant.
nih yang
There's
nonton
been some
ditarik?
situations,
Set,
of course, where
142.
losing his
Gila.
players back on the pulse plant in the front of the cave where he has to try to clutch it, but overall the initial strategy of the guard trying to get into A for the plant seems to be seamless because you still have
Right.
like what 3-4 players make it into sight on that plant.
Back towards A, possibly.
I mean, broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. So they've set up this wall the majority of the time. You can see it being the gas ore being popped back and forth as Null Command comes out. Quick site take here, and they feel like they just scatter the site. Like round 1 here, but with all
Ooh.
hits. Makes it a little easier unless Dapper does that.
Akhirnya Babang Srod pakai
Laser
panda.
strike coming out onto Shroud in the back of yellow. Owl drone coming out from Shazam. Shock darts trying to come through.
Mati lu
And
Jonah.
that's going to be a little bit of a combo. Oh, that could have killed Jonah P. He's down at
Cakep.
2 HP. And finally, kill confirmed by Shazam. But alert coming back towards mid from Trent. And he can come up huge right now. It's a 5 versus 2. We are watching that flank, but it's Net and Trent. It's two
Siap,
uses
siap.
right now in the roster,
Lah.
making it work, at least for now. Trent on his
Siap,
console,
siap.
and it does not connect there, unfortunately, on
Berangkui,
that
berangkui.
duel. But we actually did have a crossfire set up no matter what. He was fighting against Shazam. You had Zelsis on the other end, and one going on a defuse. And that's Sentinels at 11.
Triple initiator retakes are gross. Like, they are going so quick. And I talked about
I'm
it
out
a bit
there.
before. We saw that it was Zelsis and Dapper playing over towards B. And they've switched it up. We can actually see Shroud headed that way now with the way they play it. But just imagine if they go A, you have
Mainnya
even
gimana,
if you
Bang?
lose one of your
Oke, dia
initiators,
lihat
you
tuh,
have
asisnya
two to still
8.
retake. Like, your retake is immensely powerful. And then if they go B, we already saw it, Dapper backs up. So does Zelsis. They can delay, but they still have initiator retake potential. Retake, I don't know if we said that enough. It felt like a broken record when we first saw Sentinels playing.
Mana belum
Right?
udah
They would move
tiba-tiba udah
across
pada
the
hilang aja
defensive
iya.
side of the map and retake everything, even if you had 5 in the
Oh.
site. And with the triple initiator, it seems to fit
Zelsis
way
yang
more
lagi
into their
ngeri.
wheelhouse
Makanya.
because they can wait a bit longer. They can
Posisinya
be
dari
in the
tadi
position,
dapet
and
polisi
they can make
Zelsis
sure
tuh sama
that
si Dapri.
even if you have ultimates, it doesn't really matter. Guard are going to call a timeout and figure out how
Kill.
to thwart
Wah,
this.
tidur si
How to
bocil
say,
dia.
okay,
Wah.
maybe if we all turn our
Oh, ada.
monitors off while we're
Dia
getting
tidur.
flashed, it won't count,
Ya,
right?
Cicil.
Tadi diem dia.
But even then, we saw Shazam coming through with
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
sonar
Cicil.
bolts. We saw a double kill
Lapar,
through the
Cil.
walls at B. We've seen them kill
Oh,
some
lu
Masih
baru
panas
makan tadi
perutnya,
gua pas
anjing.
main.
it's almost impossible to
Pas
get
main.
away. And on that last round,
Yeah.
the spike went down during the plant, which
Tumben
gave
lu gak lapar
Sentinels
lagi jam
even
segini,
more
anjir.
time to swarm the site, and we saw Guard kind of scrambling.
Tadi yang
So
pas main
they
itu
seem to be just a step ahead here on the
Oh,
round. And Guard, when
apa?
they do win, are taking
Ghost.
a lot of damage in those fights.
Iya.
Round
Udah
20
pas
here,
palo.
Vans.
Sama kayak Pasmo ya tadi gua nonton Nugi.
Dari Pasmo.
For Saya player, so you now know
Nanti
and
kapan
see
main
Bagusan mana nih gambarnya
Polisi mata.
sama Pasmo.
for the guard. A
Yeah.
crucial round for them to win.
Bagus
Ya
yang
lebih
tahu.
asik yang ini dah, yang Ghost Hunter.
Yang tadi gua nggak main Pasmo soalnya nggak tahu.
Poison orb, or should I say the Viper's Pit. That said, they were able to do that.
Ngirit,
on these
oh,
splits towards
ngirit.
the A side. This round, looking to focus
Ngirit.
a lot
Lambungnya
of
ngirit,
players
lambungnya.
on mid control.
Be makannya gua nih. Ada pisang
Tuh.
goreng ya.
Tuh,
Anjing bodoh.
anjing enak juga
Guard
jam
have had
segini.
good success
Tapi dingin aja lah.
Enggak ya.
through this doorway. So you can see him
Tadi.
touching it again,
Pisang
saying,
dingin.
all
Gua
right,
beli
let's
habis.
get the rotation now. No bite, though.
Beli di
Sentinels
mana,
staying
anjing?
very controlled on their angles.
Ya tadi ada
So
makro
a
ini
little bit
memang
of a
mager
lead now
ngambil.
from the defensive spawn area.
Dapper's gonna have to come up huge at the pillar of the B side.
Aduh, nggak dapet, per.
Could have lined up too, but that's an easy trade back. Viper's Pit is
Oh,
available.
easy kill tuh
but it's
pakai vandal
caught by
tadi tuh.
Shazam just
Iya.
by the archers in the back of the B
Tap,
side.
tap.
Spike is also down, but Shazam's run is
Tangkap jam.
by himself.
Ayo jam, lagi jam. Satu.
He can do it so far.
Aduh,
That's
jam.
one kill. Traded out by Saya player on a 2 versus 2. Now there's
feeling it.
no information from the guard where the last 2 players are, except maybe with that 0 point that just
Anjing,
came out.
srod anchor mulu,
Coming
anjing.
back towards mid.
A nice little two-pronged attack here coming in from the side of the guard.
Walap
We
serot.
saw kind of what the cloud burst over a gas
kalah nih,
wall
Dik.
provides you. Kind of a bit of
Sam
an above
kalah.
for a second. As that wall's over towards A.
Turunin
It's
sih
2v2
biar
fight.
timingnya flash.
And Sentinels look to put themselves on huge point. Not
Kalah
gonna
pas
hit.
By Jonah.
Kalah kan,
One
men.
of those moments where, you know, there was that miscom that came out from one end before. with
Momentous
Valen's wall coming
moment.
down. This
Yeah.
time is actually Sentinels. The wall comes down. Zelsis had his back turned towards the back, and 2 easy kills.
Ini
for
menang lagi nih
GP
si
with an
Dark nih.
aggressive push-up. I like that. And the guard stays alive so far.
Baru
in
nyoba
this
2
game.
blueberry rasanya
Oh,
mirip
look this way.
Lunari
You look
lah.
this
Gua
way,
nggak
look
pernah.
this way.
Yeah.
Oh ini blueberry,
Just
2
too many
blueberry
angles.
kayak monster
Too
jam.
many angles.
There's too many. Get the protractor.
Enak.
Dapper.
Mantep ya,
Zelsis,
subuh-subuh lah kan
Shazam.
200.
All
Mantap,
ready to
mantap.
fire out ultimates here to make sure this round doesn't go in favor of the guard. Let's see how many they use. Valen, are they going to try to crash onto a site and get this Viper's Pit down? Again, these rounds where the spike is down, okay, it gets picked up. Usually we see the guard play very slow if that spike is down, but they grab it right away to hold elbow. A little bit of a crossfire here to help each other out. The double push in halls, I like this.
Yeah.
Sentinels are trying to put things in place. They haven't gotten any pushes, though, so the guard have not been read in this strategy. They could
That's
still
right.
crash onto the site and slam that Viper's Pit down.
That's exactly it. You want to use that toxic screen
Ada
maybe as a
11
conditioning
itu,
as a
Marcel.
fake because you have a Viper's
Yep.
Pit that's available. So you
Always.
could still use a lot of utility from your 2 initiators from the recon guard, probably the reset.
Alah, nggak pala.
This kill also is going to give the tell that the hits towards that B site, but it allows you to get in with utility and get the plant down. But Dapper is was looking to get ready to go for a
Yeah.
Nightfall, but decides to save it into the later rounds
Ya, kena.
because they are also on a lower buy. So this also allows the guard to get easier to get an easier sight inside B. With the exception now of a flank coming in from Zelsis with that Vandal from Muda.
Ih,
We're gonna hold it. I like it.
Zelsis posisi
Being
exit.
efficient with the ultimates on this round. 10's coming in with the headhunter to try and
Jik,
get a little bit more. So guard actually have found quite
sadar
a
gak
bit
tuh?
of success here going towards
Apaan,
middle.
itu
Like you
crosshair.
said before, the
Oi,
wall
oi, oi.
force
Apaan cursor tadi?
We're gonna
Ini
hold
crosshair
it.
tens.
Yeah, let's hold for a bit.
Kenapa?
We got
Ganti.
the highlight reels coming out from 10s. Zelsis
Eh,
actually makes
bukan
it a bit more
1-4
expensive
berapa?
for the guard this
1-4-2-2.
round, but he's actually potentially going for this off the kill, trying to make it expensive for a bit. I mean, he will be
Pakai firing error dia anjir.
Takes him down, but yeah, that was actually a really good
Menang lagi.
half buy after all here for Sentinels with
Nah,
the
ini
Niko itu.
yang menang Sen
It's
nih.
like I said before, when
Nah,
guard
AWP
do
gitu
win,
dong.
man, they take a
Sembra
lot of
AWP,
damage in
bro.
the fights. It makes it so tough to string these rounds together. You're under so much
Anjing,
pressure. You don't have as
miskin
much
tuh
confidence to
si
push.
Net.
The
Padahal
dangerous
menang.
plays you make have much
Ya,
more
tapi punya ulti.
of a negative results if you do go
Ini
down.
pakai
Right? You
siapa
can't
sini,
just buy
kalau
an
apa nggak
extra.
tahu.
It's not that kind
They
of
are
game
so
for Guard right
dead.
now. So the ultimates are about to just flash here as we
Alhamdulillah.
get towards the end of our first map. What a game to start off NALCQ between Guard and Sentinels.
Oh yeah.
Oh baby, it's still going too. First map Breeze.
Ya, di
Never
B
thought
lagi
this would
Tensa.
be in the mix here, but Guard wants to avoid Haven. The other maps, just get him out. Towards
Got it.
Halls is going to be the play here.
The tides have turned in terms of the economy for Sentinels. A crucial round for them to win. If they win this round but lose a lot of players, they're still going to be on the full economy.
Oh,
at that
nice.
point. But that's a
Mungkin
great
bakal
play.
mati itu.
Shazam, ADSing, headshot onto net. We're trying
Di
to
flash set.
answer back from the
Pintar.
Halls. The underhand throw. Shazam tries to fight back, but P at least got control of the door. That
Balas
forces up the
ulti.
goal command.
Oke,
Val
kenok
gets the
satu.
entry on the shroud. Meanwhile, though, as the door opens, that's already going to
Ya,
be
sis.
held down.
Timingnya
But it's
bagus
going to be on
banget.
camera for the players on the guard trying to get this plant into A. Still, the Viper's Pit available. Null command coming out on the defense, so that's going to delay things just for a bit. And there you go, the pit finally comes out. Trent still has the Aladrone. Hunter's Fury to come out as well on the retake from Shazam. And it's Zelsa, Shazam, and Tens looking for the retake, but they have to retake with an off on top of that. So this is good
Oh,
positioning
Tens,
for
Tens.
Valen
Gimana
inside
nih?
the pit. As the wall comes down,
Aduh, moncongnya kelihatan.
trying to get that shot, lurking around the Viper's Pit, leaving Trent on his own.
The
Swing out, and
JLC.
unfortunately, as Zelsis comes
Tajam.
down towards that ramp, Trent was
Yang
looking at
menang
the
The Guard lagi nih.
Bang,
wrong
awet, Bang.
angle, and that's going to be the defuse coming down for Sentinels at map
Maaf,
point.
maaf.
But Rev, we talked about how expensive this round could have been. Still, there's an opportunity for the guard with the economy and that plant that they just got.
Bit of money, like you said, coming back into their
Fase
favor.
EG.
Again, we see
Fase EG.
Sentinels
Kapan
using
ya?
this triple initiator comp. You basically negate the
Oh.
space where Sentinel or Guard can
Jam
be
6
standing
pagi.
in that Viper's Pit, right? Whether you have Shazam,
Nanti jam 6.
whether you have a Seize, a Han, a
Kalau
Prowler,
NA 2-2 doang
a
tuh,
Flash
2-2
going
2-2.
in to know you have
Habis
the
ini.
upper hand if it was close enough to that. Like, they
Patay
almost
enggak nih?
knew
Enggak
where
nih
they were
kayaknya.
going to find their fight.
Out of my way.
Even though they took a few casualties of their own on the side of Sentinels. Game point here as we come into round 23 for Sentinels. It looks like they'll hold off a regular 3-2 defense actually.
Zelsis
on
gantiin
their side.
Zombs.
And a bit of an extremity play coming in from
Ya kalau
Sentinels.
sesuai role mah Zelsis
In
gantiin
the beginning of
Six,
this
Srod
round, you
gantiin
had
Zom gitu lah.
so much juggle going on with what kind of buy we're going to have with Sentinels, and now
Yeah.
you look at the overlay, they don't have that much utility to work with if you're looking at what's still available. You know,
CQNA 1 juga.
it's going to be very tough right now.
Jauh ini Zelsis kan
We're
Peki iya.
seeing the guard trying to split back into this A site.
Ya kan Peki
Push
juga.
coming in. Zelsis gonna
Mantap,
have their
man.
backs real quick, but Guard make
Mantap,
quick
man.
work of everything
Gila,
that's in A. Is Zelsis too late or is he just in time?
Blade Storm now down, Spike now planted. Zelsis looking towards the back end of the
Okay.
cave. Tens looking for the
Aduh,
high ground.
ke-flash.
There's that flash to the door. That spots Tens, but Jonah P still manages to escape. But this still gives him good positioning on the pulse plant now for the guard. And even Sentinels, look at that. On a
Save.
5 or 4 versus 3
Saving gak sih
rather,
ini mah?
you might play it a little bit more passively. You might try to save unless you
Set
get the
dapat
skill.
mulu timingnya.
So that opens up the mid doors. There's that Nightfall that's going to pick
Oke, serang balik, guys, serang balik, guys.
remaining inside the
Sama,
site
nggak
as well.
bisa,
So
masih
you
on-
will commit
masih
for this.
3.
The recon to come out, the toxic screen as well. Molly in the front from the fragment of Zelsis. And we're
Ya,
trying to put the timing on that one. Trent allowing
Tuh kan menang.
to get 2 kills out of that, and that is going to
OT
be
kan?
guard holding the plant after all.
Ini
Yang menang
Dapri.
The Guard
One
lagi nih,
round
yang menang
away,
The Guard lagi nih.
seeing
Dapri kocak
overtime
nih.
to kick off the LCQ.
Again, mid becomes this opening, this
overrated.
place where Guard can encroach into Sentinel's defense, be a
From
thorn
this
in their
pen to
side.
help Team Sam.
The initiators want to stop you at like a
Anjing,
forward choke
debut
point and
pertama,
be able to
bottom
play
frag
their
gimana?
angles, right?
Cil.
When we see Zelsis now trying to play two sides of the pyramid
Anjing,
because
ditarik
there's
152,
cave
Ji.
and doors, that doesn't
Gila.
start to work as well because of how far back
Totalnya berapa?
we have the rest
700.000
of
kali nih,
Sentinels
Palo.
playing, right? Shroud's not going to be
2.
able to do too much. He can put up a smoke, right? But that's not going to stop Guard from flooding in.
Yeah.
They're already in, and Zelsis needs a little more help there. So Guard have found a really great way to be in the middle of the initiator comp to start instead of allowing Sentinels a time to position.
And even then, like, there's not much Shroud could do when Net goes in and enters that way with a Vandal running up mid. When you already had the crosshair placement by one of the greats being Shroud in attack FPS in the attack FPS world when it turned into crosshair placement. And it was actually quite interesting looking at that previous round because yes, we were able to save an operator for Sentinels in that on the last round for Tens. And they
Bottom
didn't
frag
decide to go for a
11,
double op
enggak
setup.
bulu
They actually
player.
went
Lah,
for
mode
Tens,
DBangkong
just keep
itu,
that operator,
bottom
go for
frag.
full buy, and
Yeah.
this results now playing a duel de force in a much lower score by in round 24. Last round of regulation, where the guard has everything in their favor to force the overtime.
Trent's been pretty spicy with that ultimate, at least a few tags and maybe even some frags for him. They didn't put the wall up.
That's right.
They did not put the wall up at A this round. So we'll have to see what happens where guard goes, where they decide to use it. If they still fake it late, the push tens wants first blood.
Oh no, tens.
Aduh, di wallbang.
That is a huge
Panjangan
first
tuh
blood from
AWP.
guard, and that opens up the B side as well. We have another player
OT
looking
anjing.
around, but you just heard that shot, and that was Dapper looking for that flank here on elbow. As the
Terus Dapri terus ke window, terus.
null command coming out here.
Cakep.
This would be incredibly impressive.
It would be
Ayo Dapri,
awesome.
ayo Dapri.
Very doable if we actually have.
Ya,
the
dia lihat
Oh,
side-nya
comes
dulu.
up with the
Aduh.
timing on defense. And Dapper's position's now given away with two players playing under the window. You're gonna have to play hard,
jorok.
but it doesn't work out. He had utility in his hands, and
Oti,
we're looking
Oti.
closer and closer for the overtime.
Oti, told
Shroud
you,
with the
man.
Marshall. Zels is down, and
Repack.
Shazam with the hold up, but the res comes out, forcing out the Hunters.
Wah, dapat tuh. Wah, big.
Living only one player alive. That Zels is with that Spectre, spotted in the front
Oh,
of the B
bro.
site, and we will be going into
Okay.
overtime. A Saya player gets
Match
that last
pertama
kill.
OT. Asik.
Oh, Sentinels meet
Wah.
the
Tapi
guard.
ini yang menang
as they
Sentinel League,
stand.
yang menang Sentinel
Mana
League.
map
Oh
doi
my
nih.
gosh. Overtime for this
Yes,
game
sir.
already to
Man.
start in our best of three. We still have a cent. We still have Icebox to go, but that doesn't matter.
Kolornya
right
basah
now.
sih Srod itu keringetan.
Standing tall. The economy being low here for Sentinels completely separated what we've been seeing them do every round, right?
Debut
The
langsung
reason
OT.
I said that would be almost impossible is because everyone then had to make 1v1 plays instead
Yeah.
of the utility being for the team, right? Dapper wasn't with
Satu
Celsius, it was
OT. Ini
Shroud.
kalau
Shazam
sampai
was
map
by
3 sih,
himself. So
gue teki-teki
the
nonton di HP.
communication may have still been there from long range utility, but it wasn't over the shoulder. It wasn't anchor
Kalau sampai
fights.
map 3 gitu
That
berapa
was just
jam dik?
Sentinels
3.
getting caught out because they
Ya,
were
sampai
forced
jam
to do a
6
low
lah
buy.
paling.
That's the kind of game guard
Ngentot.
provided themselves getting into that last round. They've worked hard for it. Sentinels 2 at 12. And now, like you said, first round of
Guard
OT
biasa,
here.
jaol ini mah.
Doesn't look like too much of a commitment on either side as Sentinels keep a 2-1-2 on defense. Sorry, guard on defense.
Damn.
Yeah.
And Sentinels going back to this
Jam
kind of
segitu ada
attack.
Spectre banget buat
You have
Berindo
Dapper.
ada.
Dapper is away from the
Wait.
team.
Great observation on that one. Dapper's already looking back on the left side of the pillar.
Ini out of nowhere tiba-tiba Hotel Grand Goal lagi diskon guys. Buset.
To
Apa
actually
itu?
flush that out of position. And look at that. He gets
Hotel apa?
peeked out drone.
Grand Goal
He's not
apa tuh?
switching his position.
Apa
He's
itu?
just staying in
Kagak tahu
anchor
gua.
up on the left side pyramid. The
Gua pengen
Allen
cobain
drone is
nginep di
supported on
sini,
the top
Dik.
of bridge from Trent.
Di
Mana?
bobo
Now,
apa?
this is a
Bobo
stalemate.
kabin
You're gonna have
anjing.
to wait for the next
Yang di itu.
recycle of utility to
Yang
allow
Cikole.
someone to go for
Cikole,
it. And
Bobo
side
box
players are about to
kabin.
walk down. This could be
Iya.
a big kill right now from Dapper.
Timing Dapri. Satu. Aduh.
In there.
Cik, ketahuan.
Oh, now he
Oh,
clears
nice.
it. He's watching it, but Dapper still
Bisa
wins it.
menang tuh anjing.
Haunt to look up. A push down from Valen.
Ya.
He wins it on that 4 versus 4. He gets pinged out, but it's still the rest of Sentinels going for that explosive hit now as you have the toxic screen coming up towards A.
I wonder how much guard actually think
Ih.
this is a fake.
Mati deh.
Sentinels didn't do any of that in the first half.
Sabar.
They were
Wall
playing
up.
on their attack.
Set.
And they are going to
Okay.
do a little bit of that. Just scale into A when the wall's up. Take the fights, be behind each other. Give somebody a family photo if they decide to peek.
Oh,
And they are
that's a
there to
huge-
back each other up.
1 0-point spots all 4 players. That is going to be the spike down going at least for the Sentinels as they lose Zelsis in the process. But the retake's coming out from the guard. Everybody can look towards the front of the
Okay,
site
wall
here for
retake.
Sentinels. And all of this time,
Oke,
we have the
jangan
toxic
aneh,
screen
ah.
still available for
Eh,
Valen.
gila, kok
So now we
gitu
go for
dah,
that
Jik?
retake, and we all fall for the
Oh, iya.
Sentinels. And somehow, the guard
Kayak-
take the
kayak
lead
main
on the
Rainbow,
first
ngentot.
map. on
Pedean
the
anjing
bad
ngepick
beat
begitu.
And
Gua kira
Guard
bakal
and
repost
Bobo
ke itu loh, ke
is
kiri.
How tight knit both teams
Kocak.
are moving right now. They know how
Sampai
each other
jadi
are
nge-way
going to
tuh.
attack and play. If there's a wide
Asli,
swing,
men, ini
there's
kayak
more
main
to
Rainbow,
follow.
Cil.
Everybody's
Kayak
tethered
gua
to
main
each other
Manu
right
Gimalam,
now. This game is requiring
Kurang ya,
a lot
retake ya.
of communication from both teams there. We saw the walls
Betul,
actually go
betul.
perpendicular there.
Hence,
to
why you so
divide
noob,
what could be
anjay?
coming from the double door side for guard. All of them could focus right through the pyramids.
Kayaknya gimmick dah,
Sentinels
Jik.
was ready and waiting. I would say
Pyramid
ready
3 di bangsat.
for that first one. Let's see what guard has now for attack. Sentinels onto the defense, setting up their own 2-1-2. And it looks like they will diversify. How
Main
come
sabun ya,
we're set up.
Valorant
We
ya,
saw a lot
Masen,
of the time
Sentinel ya.
Celsius with Dapper.
Mumpung ada
Now
Srod
the
nih.
initiators have been-
Biar viewer banyak
Prowler
gitu.
and a 0 point on elbow. A
Entertainment.
lot of information,
Iya,
or
sabun
trying to gather
anjing.
information on the mid front B from Sentinels and stacking players more towards the A site. But the guard are pulling a trick out of Sentinels.
Biasanya
back,
crosshair
staying
sini
towards
nih.
spawn,
Tempat
playing it
dulu.
passively, waiting for the next utility to come out to try to find information, maybe try to sell the false information that Sentinels could
Yeah.
be getting.
Biar
from the
biar
utility
si Srod main
and
3
look
map
for the
ini.
lead hit.
Debut
Asli men.
3 map.
Dia tremor
Alhamdulillah.
geter.
Who's gonna break the silence? A quick prowler out,
Alhamdulillah.
so they at least know where Dapper might be lurking and playing, and that's kind of Dapper's style. So they know Dapper may actually just be on a bit of a
Optik
sentry
doang,
mission.
NA yang
Figure out what's
terstruktur
going on.
mainnya. Wah, lu
Roll
nontonnya
up.
optik doang
Alcatraz,
kali.
This is a fake right now on the A
Got
side to
him.
hit towards B. But we hear the footsteps. Nets is on the top.
Dih!
Spirit on the top.
Kok dia jalan?
But no hits, no kills. 10, or should I say net at 1 HP. Finally gets dropped. Now it's a 4 versus 4. The knife actually pings him out, and we have an recon guard actually that pings
Wah.
Messiah player. But Valid is
Wah,
running towards the front of
nggak
the
jelas.
site. It's a 4 versus 3.
GG.
Tens is trying to go for the hero
Konyol.
play to at least narrow down the numbers on the retake. But we still have Zelsis. The flash in the back of the site. Messiah player is also holding that angle.
Okay,
The
Zelsis.
peek out. Zelsis wins that
Let's go
fight.
Zelsis.
And now here comes
Aduh,
Trent
ada
on
dari
alert,
mid lagi,
back
anjing.
towards tunnel. The
Tunnelnya
zero
susah
point
nih.
on defense
Harus
as we
dicek
have
nih.
suppression
Ayo dong,
coming in.
cek dong,
Tunnel
Srod.
falls, but
Alah.
Trent moves forward. The first
Mati
headshot
tapi.
of the Shroud. The recon dart to come out too. And Valen is still holding towards that window. So we have to go for the
Cakep.
quick kill. And it works out for
Ini
Shazam.
dia nih, Jik.
Now Valen has to go for the jiggle.
Oh!
Back in the front
Oh
end.
my
Shazam!
Shazam,
And now
anjing.
for the
Pantep-pantep,
Sentinels,
J,
we will
Bang
go
IGL.
into double overtime on
Sen yang
Brace.
menang nih men.
Oh my word! Okay, Tyson.
Lu sih gacha
That
aja.
got a little scary there,
Gacha,
Sentinels
men.
fans.
Ini serius
Saw
bener kan?
Tyson
Gua bilang.
dive into a
Iya,
crowd
16-14 ini.
attackers.
11-14 ya.
But that initiator composition just coming
Tapi ini
through,
Sen yang menang.
and Shazam, hello? His aim has been crispy this game. When we are on him, he is clicking heads, and he actually had a read.
Ngeri ya Shazam
on
ya kalau
where
mantek
the
gitu,
flank is
anjing.
coming
Ngeri.
from,
Gila, Zelsis udah mau
the
30
guard's
nih.
head on that attack. That's what
Sama
you
tren.
need to keep the rounds going here.
Iya,
Sentinels do
Sinat-
just that. and
Sinatra
we're gonna get an
ngegantiin
operator here
digantiin siapa
as the
berarti?
buy comes out
Tens.
from net.
Udah lama itu mah
That
waktu
gun
Sinatra
really
kasus,
parting.
Tens di loan,
That
terus
will
pas
be
di loan
focused
juara,
over
terus
towards
dibeli.
A.
Oh.
It looks like it's another split round-ish from Sentinels. We did not
Yeah.
see a lot of this again in their
Gua
first
kira mereka
half.
dulu pernah
They're
main
starting
bareng.
to distribute the way they play this strategy
Dulu kan
to get
si
guard
Tensnya di
messed up,
C9.
because all Sentinels really did was either hit fast, never play mid, or go
Habis kena
down
mental.
Dari C9 CS, di CS kena mental gara-gara player baru demam panggung.
The Allen drone for the ping, but this is gonna be one of those same things once
Eh,
again. But Zelsis
buset dah jadi Andre Prager, Ji.
That top of flank, but Valence in the back of the site
Oke.
connects onto one.
Mantap,
but
Babang.
cannot get the readjustment onto Shroud.
Aduh.
We have a plank coming down.
Turun nih si Jonah di kengok.
Everett.
Dengar
Everett
dong
Jonah.
si Dapper.
That's gonna be a
Dengar
big
si Dapper.
audio cue. Dapper staying
15-13 ini.
Ah.
Net is looking forward from the top of Ness. And that's a great pick. But another late lure coming out from Elbow. Tens is gonna hear the rotation from Jonah B. Connects
Wah.
onto that kill, and we know the
Kenapa
second
di si
one's
Tens
going
lagi
towards
nggak
tunnel.
nyantai aja nggak imut?
Shroud is playing the pulse plant.
Shroudy
That's one of
lineups.
the things we like to see, yeah. I mean, Shroud, we talked about it before. One of those players that's coming in, as we do have the shots
Wait, it's
landing on a 1 versus 1, and it is halfway. We're forcing out the ping. The wall back coming out from
Cakep.
Shroud does get the kill, and who better than Shroud to
Walaupun
win
ya,
that round?
line up-nya
On
agak
that 1
telat.
versus 1 against Net, putting Sentinels back.
Disangkanya
at
masih
that
apa?
point.
Di tap
The
doang.
time, the ice cold.
Cakep, cakep.
I'd be like,
Okay lah.
everyone's
Let's
sitting there sweating like,
Let's
fire
go,
it,
Shroud.
oh my God, fire it.
Di-
He's like, psh, what do you
Bocil-bocil
mean?
Rodi,
Oh
Rodi.
my God, this years of experience in the attack FPS scene. I got this, boys.
Proud
But
team, bro.
That's one of the things that's cool here.
Let's
We
go,
talked about
Babang.
Shroud being one of the latest additions, of course, with Zelsis into
Yeah.
this roster.
Ini
and
bukan
I wanted
Sen,
to know
anjing,
if he
Cil.
actually knew the lineup.
Rodi, Rodi lawan The Guard.
Even as he said, or
Rodi,
even
Rodi.
in his interview, he said, "Oh, there's potential where I won't play a
Srod
Viper.
and Pre.
Maybe let Dapper play it, but he's throwing into this role quite well."
Stroke dan Sentinel. Anjing.
Ice cold lineups. Makes you think you got it.
Srod and Sentinel.
Nice clutch, nice
Mike Tyson
play. Sentinels pull
versus the
the back in their favor here.
Mike Tyson yang ada di
They're
mobil
Yang
back.
itu.
carry Jelsis.
Elbow
Tyson
play
yang
gonna
ada di
come
mobil.
in now from the side of the guard. The spike is still down towards A cave.
Yeah.
Kan
Zed-
siap beli
Zed
armor,
shop.
kan
So if
beli
they actually
AWP
decide to go
ganteng.
towards A, they can still do that. Wall
Eh,
hasn't
yang
been
komen
used
Yei lagi.
as per
Gimana
usual.
sih lu, Yei?
They would fire it towards A pyramids.
Siapa
They
tuh?
still have a chance.
Iya.
Go either way.
At least the spike is on the back of Valen, right? So if Trent dies, then yeah, okay, we have a player pushed up towards A.
Everett
But this is
Jonah.
all bad timing because they think we have
Cakep.
position and info. Hence does get the first kill, at least onto tunnel. But this could still be a rotate back towards the A site.
Hancur di
Yes,
pisau.
you let them in.
Quickscope.
Maybe that's going to be the play here for Senos because you just want Zelsis to play the point.
Iya asik nih Jelsis Jik. Jik di pisau Jik ini Pak. Ihihi. Oh enggak.
One player down. Knife towards the front door.
Lagi pada serius Jelsis ya.
He threw
Sama
the
the trolling.
knife onto the body of Trent. I love it.
Well, he was making sure nobody else was to his left. So he hasn't cleared it.
Oh GG, swap 3 kill. Tolonglah observer.
Iya ya lo
Goblok.
observernya apa sih
Replay
anjing?
ngentot.
You
Oi.
Bener kan, Sil?
kidding me? Oh my
Okay.
word! I like
Menang,
literally I
Sil.
didn't even take
Yang
the
menang
amount
Dapat
Sil.
berapa duit nih gue nih?
bytes going through my computer right now. I just
Yeah,
can't.
same
Iya,
here.
ini
One
gue langsung di
full
hire.
Round.
Replay sabar.
That
Gotta
was
find
like-
the last 3, so he gets the first kill of the match and the last 3 of the match. Nicely done.
Anjing bisa double
Sentinels
ding Jik.
finding a win on their own pick, but it's a game. It's a
Apaan itu,
series,
anjing?
and that was one of them. No,
Cheater.
I'm just kidding.
Jelas.
It's gonna be a good one.
Double
Both
dingnya
teams
karena
seem to
piercing
have a
kali
good
dia.
read on each other,
Kagak,
and
kan itu
it's
beda.
coming
Kan
down to
sebelahan.
situations
Enggak,
just like
yang satu
that.
nembaknya berhenti, yang satu masih nge-swing itu.
Two more players alive in a round,
Oh,
so they
berarti
find
tapi
builds.
kena bulatnya bareng gitu.
They're- each team is
Oke.
throwing each other so many
Tyson, anjing.
problems.
Tapi berarti kalau kayak gitu nggak 140 dong Jik. Yang belakangnya.
Enggak tahu deh.
Dapat 300 ribu
Enggak
gua
deh,
Jik.
I was ready
Let's
to go
go.
for a little bit of a podcast before because I thought the guard was going to be able to make it in and at least go for the plant after knowing that Zelsis towards that front.
300.000
You gotta
EZ.
stay on the edge of your seat when you got Shroud playing.
Ini kayak
and
lagi
that's
dikit,
exactly what
nggak ada
we're
map
gonna
3
do.
dikit.
As we take a break and
Nomor
when we
2
come back,
kosong.
we have Ascent coming up.
Wah,
Menang cepet dibantai nih si Degar.
gua kalau nunggu gini mah kayak surfing dulu dah. Nungguin
Ah,
map 2.
tiduran tidur.
Ya,
Ya parah kalau
dan
gitu sih.
satu bro.
Parah banget.
Kabar nemik gua pasti gede nih bentar lagi.
Anjing.
Ini jual
Lagu lu mantep. Lu udah denger lagunya buat si Lukas belum?
belum. Anjing gede ya. Tes.
Enak, anjing.
tes. Tadi baru publish kan sih bro?
Iya, enak lagunya men. Wup, anjing. Lukas save the day kan.
Anjing. Surfing dulu lah.
Gue sih kemarin main CS ya, nggak ada orang anjing.
Ada.
Nggak ada kemarin gue cobain main. Terus gue ini lihat di mana dik? Ini nggak
Mana?
jelas anjing, dari gold 4 kebuka ini anjing. G
Apa?
dari gold 4 kebukanya G anjing.
Perlu ini. Kok nggak ada orang anjir, ini aja lah.
Langsung G anjing.
Gila juga.
Rank
Ini nggak ngantuk-ngantuk. GE anjing udah lama anjing nggak dengar kata-kata GE. Kan Mas Dok emang GG iya. Nggak pengen ketawa nih jadi soundboard-nya ketawa ya. Ini ngomong-ngomong kalau subuh gini like-nya bisa
Wah.
berapa, Pren?
yang nonton 500, like-nya 200 sih.
Oh, yang nonton
Tidur
500.
ngentot.
Wah,
500
gue kira yang nonton
anjing.
200 soalnya ngeliat like kan 200.
Nge-like-nya 200 anjing.
Ya.
Ngentot bocil sih beneran tidur ngentot.
Apa?
Si bocil sih beneran tidur anjing udah keluar
Iya, tidur
Discord.
deh. Goblok jatuh lagi.
Yang Kim Jong Un dik anjing.
Kan sih gua udah like tepu. Gak tau gitu kan subuh-subuh bisa FYP. Ya elah. Gak bakal nyampe gua begitu mah. Babi. Gua dulu mah bisa lancar ya di sini. Gua lupa muter.
Ini mainan zaman dulu banget.
Iya, 1.6. Ini demi udah
Yang-
like.
Yang zombie sih seru dik, gue suka main yang
Zombie
zombie.
escape.
Iya.
Nyampe nggak nih? Aduh,
Ya.
nggak nyampe lagi. Kabel casan ngalangannya anjing deh.
Rocket League lagi, bet anjing gue pengen main Rocket League nih, bet.
Gue diinstal dari kapan tahu anjing. Gue ngajak doang.
Gue pengen main Rocket League lagi anjing.
Mabok banget. Up. Kan enak kalau gini. Gue lupa nih yang ini nih. Oh, gue inget. Yes. Gak nyampe.
Ya.
Yo. Susah lagi yang ini anjing.
Tuh nyampe.
Aduh, loncat mulu. Ya.
Srod cam motherfucker. Kecil sekali.
Ya.
Apa mulu gua momentumnya.
Nah, ini bagus.
Dapat nih. Hop, aduh.
Ya. Yang kanan nggak sih?
Gue lebih suka kiri. Aduh. Mabok nih jam segini bang, suike bang, sorry nggak makan kodok kentok.
Anjing enak tuh. Udah nggak boleh tapi men.
Kenapa?
Kan haram kita nggak boleh makan.
Oh iya ya.
Iya anjing.
Oh iya amfibi ya goblok. Stack 7 gimana anjing, gue lupa. Oh iya, ingat.
Tapi di Cibadak masih banyak yang makan anjing. Jaban.
Emang ya?
Iya anjing.
Ya anjing.
Nggak tahu kali ya. Tapi nggak mungkin sih anjing.
Udah. Halo bang, halo. Ngapain sih Ben lah? Gak tahu surfing lu ya? Ini surfing adik-adik namanya.
Lahirnya pasti kelahiran 2010 tuh.
Ya, kalian kalau main CS:GO main surfing adik-adik kayak gini tuh. Nah, ini dia nih, gue lupa set. Itu ada tekniknya yang ini nih. Oh, labat anjing.
Anjing.
Ini susah nih. Aduh, telat. Gak ada rencana main kompet CS, ada, makanya nonton dong di Nimo. Goblok. Gagal deh ini mah. Ini rope PUBG jam begini. Anjing. Dari sini ya. Salah, jelek. Boy. Ini dia nih. Set.
Anjing.
Gue lupa di sini kemana aja. Oh ini finish.
Udah finish dah.
Gak nge-restart lagi babi. Harus ke sono noh. Gampang nih sur. Kejedot. Pakai liquid apa? Thunder liquid adik-adik. Ye. Kejedot mulu. Up.
Anjay.
Bangsat.
Bener.
Lu bawa anjing. As. Harus lihat bawah gini nih.
Anjay.
Alhamdulillah ya. Ranking 12.000. Oke. Kita beat my rank. Hap.
Conor McGregor and Valorant. Itu semua dimirip-miripin tapi
Siapa sih main Valorant?
meeting viewer. Mana Conor?
Di sini mulu gua gagalnya. Babi.
Gagal nih.
Kalah.
Gagal nih, gagal. Anjing bagus deh. Wah, perfect banget ini.
Mantap deh. Agent pick lagi.
Ini gagal.
Shazam.
Lah.
Anjing lain nih di sini.
Biasalah. Dikit gerakan tambahan. Sebaik tidur ya adik-adik.
5 kali lah. Ini yang kedua nih.
Nepi. Agent iya, gue juga lihat adik-adik tenang aja. Tadi gue udah ngomong pick agent ya. Ya, rewel banget ya. Nggak pagi, nggak subuh, nggak siang, nggak sore.
Kelima. Nah ini berhasil nih.
Ya kah?
Ya ini.
Astra.
Nah disengaja itu mancing. Tepu guys. Nah, ini gagal lagi nih.
Entot tuh, Jul. Kurang atas gue babi.
Nah, ini berhasil. Tapi di sini gagal nih.
Srod pakai Astra, asik banget.
Tricky hero.
PCP lauk jadi peramal, iya. Gacha dia lagi pengen main slot.
Ini gagal. Ini gagal nih. Nah ini berhasil main di sini. Nah,
udah mulai Jul. Mulai Jul. Beresin dulu nih.
Gagal men. Gagal.
Gila lo.
Percuma men lihat ini.
Game ngentot. Dimin dulu. Yuk. Mulai.
We were just falling off the map for a second, getting a ride up on the gondola. Start off on ascent here. Looks like a B
bentar lu betting. Lupa.
Here for guard. One ways will be played. One ways will slow down sentinels. That's the objective. But you're right. Will Killjoy work? We'll have to keep an eye on the KO and Killjoy utility interaction. Unkillable 0 point goes towards mid here, and Shazam gets some pop shots.
Killjoy masih kepake anjir
in the
di
middle
sini.
of Cat here.
Masa sih?
Malah di rank udah enggak ada Killjoy.
Utility as well on the attack.
Jadi udah enggak ada Killjoy. Pasti pakainya chamber.
Back onto Cat. So May was forfeited for a bit, but we haven't taken control of anything for the guard yet.
Oh
Still
iya,
holding
nggak ada
towards the
chamber ya,
lane,
Mas.
trying to
Aneh.
see
Nggak
if
ada.
Ben's gonna re-push out while he has the TP
Anjing,
on
harusnya
cooldown.
setiap map tuh selalu ada chamber
But
anjing
they're just gonna
rata-rata.
try to play it slow, find
Soalnya
that
masih
timing.
OP belum tidur.
There you go. Hens is back. Teleporter is back. Nothing's changed there for
Ya, mati nih si
at
Terry.
least
Blau.
the chamber into this patch. Here comes the first utility off the refreshments. The 0 point clear out towards Cat.
Another dodge out. So a reposition again. They're reading the re-round of utility as you were saying.
Kasih masuk.
Seneng
gitu.
banget.
Door here. This could
Seneng
easily
banget
Gimana
aneh
ya?
kayak ini orang ya.
push
Tim
already
ini ya.
in from Valen.
Enggak
That
emang
may
gitu.
be the
Kalau misalnya
approach
lebih dari
we
dikasih
need to
masuk
get
pasti
this
nggak akan commit
positioning.
itu.
And what a positioning
Iya,
move that
maju
they have
mundur
from
doang.
Sentinels.
Break the door, force to rotate out. Tens gave up
Cakep.
towards Garden.
Cakep, Dapper.
Oh my side, but it's Dapper. 2 kills with the ghost on the back of the Jenny. Lining up a third one.
Free
with the
fire
ace,
si
and
anjing.
that's Tens on the other end just to hold it back off the rotation. Nets on his own.
Iya,
on the lurk on mid, and that's gonna
mantap.
be a
Berangkat.
prime giving flawless from Sentinels.
A few
Weh,
of the cleanest
boy
ghost shots
Dapper,
we're going to be
anda.
seeing here throughout the tournament. Dapper has
Tapi gue
always
masih megang perek
been
sih
an
lawan Sentinel
amazing
juga nih.
sight holder. In
Megang
the
apa?
1v1s, the 2v1s, he
Megang
thrives in
perek
these
sih.
positions.
Perek,
Kalau lawan
The
Sentinel.
second-
Apa
What is that
Asli,
second
ya.
shot? Slowed down, it still seems fast, my
Gue
man.
sering megang perek.
Oh, and that
Asli,
one
man,
coming back
perek,
through
man.
the Jenny gets a clip,
langsung
and
lah.
then the rest of it.
Belanja.
I would be like,
Langsung
10,
belanja,
took
man.
my fourth. That's basically what
Jajan.
happened. But yeah, that is a statement round.
Paling adik-adik
coming
jangan
from
lupa
Dapper.
di-like yang
Can't say much
berjoin.
about it. Guard really tried to work the map just to get that down coming through by Tapper.
Perek bisa
That's
menang.
the strength as well of playing that triple initiator.
Sayang banget
Sentinels,
di-
but we'll
di
talk
ronde
about that a little
11
bit
ada
later.
duelis lagi. Lah, Arles dulu bukannya nonton Master ya? Kan udah emang begini,
The
kagak pakai
read on
duelis.
the play.
Apalagi enak.
Shroud is on the Astra too, so that's the quick click practice honed in on that, and they even get their own one ways from Shroud here to make sure they can gain a little bit of positioning.
Sam's just holding with the yellow drone back from the garden. And
Gue pengen ngeliat jetnya
on
Shazam
that
keluar
marshal.
tuh.
So they pretty much have all that information up on A on lock.
Oh ya,
All that
player.
spike to go down.
Orang
So,
Indo nih.
a tough battle
Korea.
for the guard to take this. So we'll take the time to talk about it at least. The triple
Keikat
initiator
kelihatan.
it has been shown here by EG during stage 2. Retweaked and revamped as well
Right.
Bantai, dia
by
langsung menang
Optic
cepet.
into stage
Spike-nya
2.
di
And now
M, man.
Sentinels is using it. And
13
one of those moments of where you
13-4.
saw that second kill coming out from Dapper was just a nice little lineup to get the kill off a recon.
Sebenarnya nggak pakai baju. Enggak,
from
nggak pakai
Shazam
badan
as
ya,
well
namanya.
into the A side. So there's just going to be a lot of utility that's going to bring out your opponents.
Oke, mantap,
And if they're so
Jelsis.
focused
Lagi
trying
on
to
bat
take
nih.
you down on
Iko
ping
Frag,
duels,
berangkat.
then you're going to be able to ping so many players.
Tembak,
on
Dapri.
every
Right.
for Sentinels.
Kena
And you
anjing.
think about how Valorant works and the way that it
Mati
can
lagi
be slow.
Jelsis.
If it's a slow game, information is king, right?
Yeah.
And if you have more information to gain over and over, we see them recycling the utility. It becomes much harder to do
Tapi
anything in
jarang
the dark,
banget saya no
if you will.
duelis. Dari
Have
kemarin
your
juga udah
opponents
no
thrown off
duelis.
because
Yeah.
they're already
Dari
pushed up and
zaman
extremity
apa
cover
namanya?
or utility
PISITI
cover
yang
in a
kemarin
certain
tuh,
area.
yang gak lolos ke Master
Let's see
udah
what
no duelis
happens.
kan.
This still the same
Tensnya
setup
pakai
coming from the
chamber.
guard. I mean, tile
Cuman di
coverage
beberapa
from
map
KJ
kayak
is
split
kind
gitu,
of
Shazam
annoying.
masih
Have a bit of
megang
alert. This is one of the first
Jet.
times Net will be
Kadang-kadang
by
si
himself.
apa
We'll see how much
fansnya
they can provide over
pakai
there
Raje.
before playing towards
Cuman
Cat
dengan
and that
terus
Gelato.
terang sekarang mungkin
Sentinels
udah
set up
oke
a
no duelisnya.
4-1 here to start with 4 towards B.
Jadi mungkin lebih ke kayak
Okay,
optik lah ya
a little
sekarang.
bit of a TP on the top of the box is looking for some aggressive mid control with 2 riflers on the top, and that's Tens.
Susah
Crosshair
banget tuh
placement broken,
nge-counter
and
Omen di
Valent
situ, anjir.
punishes him for that by being on top of those boxes.
Padahal
One of those little
udah
tricks
common
that you
spot
actually
turnamen
see
lah
here
itu.
that we actually haven't seen too much from Omen
Yeah.
players on this map of Ascent. That was a nice start.
Gak lah, Jelsis gak akan teriak-teriak lagi
Valent
turnamen
definitely
gini mah
finds a
anjir.
lot of comfort on Omen.
Ditarik
Clutch
srod nih.
situations, first bloods.
Itu buat narik
No
ini.
stranger to
Guling
any of
demin,
those of
kalau
the
nggak buat
sort.
nyemok.
A real big reason they were one of the #1 teams there. Fragging IGLs are a rarity. See the push towards B though. It has been
Kelihatan
held
dikit
by Net.
ditarik ini sama Srod.
Seems like they want to get in. Nobody's really close to any alts. We're still so
Quick
early in the
defend.
game. But again,
Yeah.
guard try to play this
Surprise.
time down, and Jonah finds 2. That's big news.
Oh, nice Rod. Nice backup.
Nice backup
Tried to
anjing.
get something at least on
Dapetin
the
bonusnya
outside.
yuk.
The underhand throw actually
B-nya
did
di-retake kan?
catch
Oke,
Soft
berangkat.
guard, but there was support from Shroud. But what that does is that they're on a
Inisiator
bonus,
pasti
so
di-pick.
losing
Iyalah,
a
nggak
little bit of
mungkin
a
main
specter to
kali
allow
nggak
the
ada
rest of them to
inisiator
get
tuh.
into the B
30
site. We'll
seconds
take that any day here for the guard.
Absolutely. Easy in, easy plant. Let's see if they can get back out of the site here. It will help. Getting swarmed by all this utility will not be fun for Sentinels, and they'll know exactly how to use it.
Kelihatan
Doesn't
tadi
look
lu.
like they have much more than Net just on the crossfire. See how Sentinels get in.
Excuse me, lost a rifle in the process. Not only expected here because it's a gun round down for the guard.
Oh, nice Azam.
Looking for that
Ditembusin.
retake for Sentinels. The wall bang onto Saya player as Net is hiding inside.
Gak ke-detect
Ya,
Bimen ya.
ketahuan.
The smoke actually, and that allows him to get through the nebula on a timing.
Oh, nice, Dapper.
Oh, nice banget.
Aduh, si trennya di sini anjir.
Looks for the third, but we continue with
Dapri.
these trades. It's a
Oke, nice Dapri.
We think it's
Nice
Bell enough clutch, but
banget.
it's not gonna work out.
Pas nih
Let's go.
timingnya.
Gets the kill.
13-4 men
He's
ini.
gonna be able to get this defuse right here.
0,
Make it 3-0
oh, salah
for
detik.
Sentinels.
The dink as well. Not even a gun diff, just the
Dapat
placement
bonus.
of the crosshair. What a back and
Kurang
forth.
dapat.
And I said it come into the site, Vansili. Like that's going to be so hard to hold. All that information ready to be gained by
Dapri,
Sentinels. And we
7-0,
saw
mantap.
the first kill was through a wall.
Dafai.
Trent doing Trent things at B. Almost a deja vu from him in this situation. But it
Dapat
comes up
lagi
on
rapi.
Dapper's
Udah move on
side,
dari
and they're
Cypher
able to
dia.
Get the defuse. Great round by Sentinels. They hold the bonus true and they put guard back on a low buy.
Oni Phantom dari dulu
This
aja
is
nggak
some of the
berganti.
things that we see a lot from defender halves as well. From the comps that you get, usually the smoker and the KO playing towards the A side. Xset with PCG and Def do a great job, but they have an Omen instead of an Astra. But we're still using the Astra in full force here with how we're currently placing the stars into A main for Shroud. If it's going to be support with the Gravwell on top of that too for Zelsis. But here comes the
Lah,
execution
kocak.
site, and that's Shroud holding towards the A main.
Kocak,
This is
saya
off with,
player.
Of course, a couple of pistols coming in though from the guard, just trying to at least get a plant down. Wow, was
Enak
also
kan di
the
ulti lu.
nightfall coming out from Dapper to get all of that information.
One mid,
for
one
Sentinels.
mid.
So it's
Asik,
gonna make
keikat.
things a little bit harder for the guards.
Keikat.
GG loh.
Tens.
GG banget anjing.
Dapper mode. T-back gua suka.
For Sentinels. Oh my word. Guard trying to just pull something out of their pocket there and it
Kita kasih dulu
absolutely
emotnya.
rolled over. Sentinels with a pretty nice read. Like you said, Dapper on the ultimate to make sure that there isn't really anything to mess with.
Emot T-back guys, emot T-back asik.
7-0.
Anjing,
He's
yang
actually
tadi
been
OP banget
having
ya.
a great series so far. Fragging out pretty hard and holding his own in situations. If we recall the B round in Breeze where he held back, got 2 frags, which allowed the team to get Nightfall. Just he seems to be
Baru
in
nih
that
Dapri nih.
range where he's not ready to make a mistake today and he's making the right decisions everywhere. It's really helping Sentinels out. Guard for the timeout, Vance. The rounds that slipped away from him are, but what if? Right? What if that didn't dink through the wall on Dapper? It's the bonus doesn't go. Another round doesn't fold over.
Panutan mas lu Kang T-back.
It's not like you get to say that and come back.
Yeah,
You have to
time
figure
out.
out what to
Surfing
do
dulu gua,
now
anjing.
because Sentinels isn't going to make it any easier. A few ultimates
Anjing, di
coming
server
online
gua doang
here
nih.
for the guard.
Udah ganti
Trent probably could
map.
get a Nightfall out if they encroach on enough space and get in the face of Sentinels. But early timeouts twice now for guard here. One of them was after their round win, but it seems like they're having trouble getting through Sentinels.
Well, that's it. Getting trouble getting through Sentinels on A main on top of that. So I think where they
Ben,
had some
ben.
strength from the guard was
Yeah,
actually
right,
forcing Tens away from mid,
Ben,
forcing
ben,
the
ben,
TPs
ben,
out,
ben,
ben.
and getting
Right.
that fake on mid to force Tens off the rotation off tree. But when they do that and still lose the fights towards A main, the position from Zelsis and from Shroud are very, very hard to deal with. So I feel like maybe a gelato
Udah mulai,
or
anjing.
something like that could work things out. After actually this timeout, it's a paranoia to push through, and Sire player dashes forward to be able to
Lagi
get
ke-blind
that
lagi.
headshot onto Zelsis. So a great way to actually adapt
Galeria
back
Phantom,
into
anjay.
this
Ini Phantom
aggressive
awal
A
banget,
side that Shroud and Zelsis have been doing towards that A main. So the great timeout after all. But this is still going to be one of those stalemates where a little bit of utility was used to get control of that, but not much into
Apa?
map.
Monkey
Map
Pox.
control gained.
Apa tuh?
If I can put it that way here for the guard.
Penyakit ya?
So we keep an eye now on the conversion. This 5v4, Saya
Belum
player is
monyet ya?
able to get, and he
Penyakitnya
stays
monyet.
alive this time. Because a lot
Cacar
of the time
monyet.
we saw that
Oh,
the
cacar
other side
monyet. Oh,
player
cacar
breaks that
monyet.
distance and nobody can trade with
Sorry,
the
bener.
frag.
Itu
Maybe
gimana
this
sih
time,
penyakitnya?
Asher's, sorry.
Sama.
4v4 coming up.
Cuman
They
khusus
will
OC
be
gitu.
able to get a little more positioning. At least the knowledge is there, but here comes the
Oh,
initiator
dude.
utility.
That was huge. Off the seas and
Wah.
fragment and a push from Trent. Coming in hard
Thanks.
on the guard.
1v4.
1v4.
Timeout, and that's gonna be the plan.
Wah, ini kalau Srod nih, oh baby,
When the
Srod
economy looking pretty
1v4.
strong here
Mati
for
langsung
Sentinels, you
Srodnya.
could definitely go in to make it expensive here for the guard, and you could count on Tens to
Kita lihat
maybe try
sini.
to get 1 or 2.
Ya, Oninya, Oni merah nih. Harusnya Tosca, kalah ini mah.
Nice, they clean this up, helping out the 5v4 version statistic for him. And that was a great pressure too,
Anjing.
especially in a
Tutup
round
itu ya.
where Saya does get a frag. He is actually the next one to frag again, right?
Oh
He's the
my
one to push
God.
out if he gets 10s on 1. He called it. Dylan will stop that though in its tracks.
Look
Yeah,
at the
Saya
situ,
still with
babi.
what 30 HP was the first to peak. They keep
Correct.
in order what they're supposed to
Kira
do
bakal
with this
ke pojok
composition,
tadi.
and they follow up accordingly. And we saw guard just pile in after Saya did finally go down. So really nicely done and keeping their strategy in line, right? It's very easy to get deterred from it, but they're not letting Sentinels do that.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to get to too. As you see the rotation coming out from the guard is Sentinels playing it on the A site. If you lose control of one side, you can push forward in the
Kan
rest.
kasih merah
So
skinnya iya.
pushing 2 players inside A main, you're leaving up tree, but the position that you gain from A main allows you to play the retake a little bit better. And I like how the guard rotated back to Cat and used utility to actually deny the aggressive pushes from Sentinels after losing A main. So nice little chess match on that previous round. This round here, very, very slow. The Haunt not spotting them out as it was thrown out by Dapper to
Dimana
get
Tommy?
control on mid and information.
Misu.
But this still allows Tens
Dimana
to push
deh?
forward with this
Di left set
operator.
Tomisu.
A game of one ways and
Berbalik
stars
dikit.
being played over
Oh, iya.
towards A still.
Iya.
You see the change
Awalnya
in
baru mau
net
berangkat.
positioning,
Mau berangkat
mentioning
tadi.
that
Jam berapa ya
from
sana?
B towards mid, turrets can be able to grab a
Jam
bit of it.
5, 9.
Jam 9 ya.
Tommy
Operator
dulu
in the
bukan
smoke.
X
TP out.
The gun!
Tommy subuh
Kenapa?
le.
Trade though.
The
Tommy
triple
Subuk lah.
walk into a smoke. I love it. And the spray back through the cloud burst, but the Nightfall coming out on the attack. It does actually see Shazam with this Odin just trying to ADS down for only 1 kill. But these are looking really good, at least on both ends.
Tens kan buta warna kalau nggak salah parsial ya. Kabarnya kayak si Bocin.
Sama kayak gua dong, anjing.
Wah. Lagi nge-repair.
Very well done. Good patience by the guard and not going immediately for the plant. Just
Baru mau bilang main trick komen tapi nggak jadi.
Next
Dia
two
meninggal.
rounds now on the attack for the guard.
Kira main trick ternyata hanya Tens yo.
Just be collected was
Ngentot,
one of the,
anjing.
probably not one of the things said, it's speculation, but just collect yourselves a little bit more by the guard. Plays don't have to be made immediately. Make sure your teammates are there to crossfire. Obviously, Trent doing what he has to do in a situation, but it seems like they're just much more confident about their peaks. Being down a player isn't stopping the guard
Beda
here.
anjing, suhunya
It's
beda
really
tuh.
good
Beda
to see
Tommy
that the
anjing.
game hasn't shifted their mentality.
Emang Tommy subuh le.
Have been pretty aggressive. Have
Iya,
been
dipak-
trying to take space. Guards still want it first.
Tommy
Here we
Esu
see
ya,
that
oh iya,
win
gua nggak
finally,
kedengeran
right?
tadi bet.
They're like,
Gua
no,
nanya.
A
Bilang
space is
Tommy
ours.
Su, ya,
We're
beda,
taking
bro.
it. Stop smoking it. They actually
Beda,
put
anjing.
4 members there immediately, and now they
Ini
control that orb. They'll back
Tommy
up and start
Tommy
to go back
versi
to
Indo,
what they were
bukan
doing.
Tommy versi Cina.
Still a stack of numbers though. For
Versi
Sentinels
lokal,
towards
entot
this
ini,
A
Tommy
site.
Su.
We have this dual approach
Iya.
from Tens that's locking up the B main.
Mhm.
Meanwhile though, as we give that up, or Sentinels into the A main site, you still have that crossfire there. So guards are still going to try to play this.
Di update
very
selanjutnya
cautiously,
revive Kayo nggak ada
waiting
suara buat
for,
musuh. Anjing OP
potentially
juga.
another Haunt to come back up here for Trent. Well, they do have a
Huh?
knife ready to potentially try to stop this.
You
false attack
are
B main.
powerless.
Another smoke mid. Valen has one foresight. Knows how to use it. Quick prowler towards 10s. He'll get a call out and get a double lean over actually.
Tuh diri.
Members
Ju.
of Sentinels at B.
Ya hilang AWP lu
Orb
Tens.
grabbing
Tens.
left and right here.
Yeah,
Comes out.
and as the orb gets picked up, that's an immediate.
Si Dapri
ult
gila
coming
nih, dapat
out from
ngambil
Jordan
chance.
P to take the B site.
Cakep.
Dapper, first headshot there with the sheriff, but that stops him
Jadi
right there.
pep tapi.
Valen trades it out. We have a site open for the guard. The res coming out too. So
Oke
it's gonna be
Tens.
back on a
Let's go
five
Tens. Mantap
versus
mantap.
four. We talked about ultimate, so the op is still available for
Ada
Tens.
cuman suara
We still
pertamanya
have
doang.
the Cosmic
Oh.
Divide, but at this point with all of them funneling
Si
out
Phoenix
towards
juga tuh ya,
spawn,
180
it's gonna have to
derajat
be
anjir.
off utility and the
Pasnya.
Stinger hopefully to do much here.
Keren aja
Apa?
sekarang Phoenix men.
Zelsus.
Finish kencang
Has to get
plus.
by the one way.
Flashnya Phoenix
Atlantis
180
you can
derajat.
take actually coming down. It's unfortunate
Very
because
nice
it does
one way.
create the longer range.
Buat 1v1 sih.
0 point from Jonah T, spotted a few, so we know that we're committed to
Ini mas sebenarnya nggak usah dilawan,
stop
diemin aja.
and contain
Terus
the
pakai
guard
ekonomi.
into the site off this pulse plant. And that's the plan. We never really wanted to go for the defuse in the first place. We
Oop.
just want to make it pricey. It works
Zell.
out with all of these kills.
Ah,
8 for
selesai.
3 overall. And that's
Bener.
Trent continuing to build up kills after kills that we wanted Trent
Yeah.
to do as well. And that we know Trent for. And Trent has
Malam
had those
nonton-
rounds where he's
malam
played
nonton
a lot
apakah
of
gacha
solo
gua
in the
apakah gacha gua
past.
salah?
I'm liking so far that we're fighting back and getting these numbers on a fade. Nightfall ready into this round, and also 1 round away of tying things
Enggak,
up when they
12.
have the harder
Mhm.
side of a Sentinel risk.
12.
Right, it's not just the agent.
8.
I mean, you get the same stuff out of
Gua
Fade that you
13.
kind of do
Gua
out of Solo,
12 sih.
but
13
still
dong men.
seems comfortable just
Ini
railing
nggak tahu nih
home,
di
taking rounds
attacker
for
ada
the team.
susah nih anjir.
4-3 here. A little closer to start off than we
Gue
had on
13-4
Breeze.
tadi.
Guard seem to be online right now. We'll see what they can produce for round 8. Sentinels getting a bit of a push into B main for the first time here. A little bit deeper, rather. They have had peeks and checks. But this will be the extremity check that they usually aren't doing. Mid's been left open a lot of the time. One round, the Guard will be able to test that, but they haven't decided if it's going to be another cat.
Free control, Nightfall right away, and a nice little scope too, just to try to take control of tree for the Guard. But that is going to slow things down at the same time, because that was also a detriment to not allow the Guard to get through. Potentially maybe go for an underhand throw through that smoke, but there was a lot of utility that was thrown back from Sentinels.
Telenya kedengeran nggak sih, Ben?
Sentinels
Kedengeran.
feel comfortable
Tapi kan nggak tahu
playing.
arahnya
Charm is
kemana.
not moving.
Oh, nice.
Ready to play.
Udah,
Double
ya.
shot there, crossfire into sight,
Jongkok
but he
si
goes
Srod,
down on a trade. Now they have to consider what they can do.
Ya, di spam lagi, bah.
That was a nice little double swing out.
Spawn.
Outside of the Cloudburst 2, Zelda's down, Shazam off the rotation.
Ya.
This continues to be just
Ada tense nih,
nice
anchor.
from both of these teams. The pushing coming through, it's well read by
Dicek pasti.
Sentinels, but the trade
Exactly.
comes out immediately. I just love this
Oh,
until this happens. Tens pushing towards the B main.
Itu
Looking
dia,
for the third
baru
kill, and
nih
he's
buat
gonna get
Chiltens
the
langsung
heads
nih
up there
menyerang
on the
left
valley.
Twitch.
Lock it down
Set.
here for the Sentinels.
Pok. Gue juga pok.
Oh,
Tens is back.
a
Tens is
little bit of a
back.
fumble
I
there.
yakin lock Tens.
Tens
Pokcoy,
That's
Ben
Cassius.
jangan pokcoy gitu.
absolutely cleaning up and
Dimakan
realizing
terpokcoy.
the situation.
Pokcoy.
I mean, there's an arming time for the bot as well. Tens knowing well. I mean, Tens would fire through a flash there if it was on the screen
Totalnya
before
berapa?
he would try to rendezvous away. So the alarm bot's not going to scare him. Yeah, really well played there. Just simple, kind of knew he could shoot. And a bit of a misplay by Guard that will haunt them
Tens
coming
tuh
into
cuma
that
jago
round
doang
because they had
sebenarnya,
positioning and they had numbers.
Anjing,
Quick
siapa tuh
3K
ngomong?
by Tens.
Tommy
Turns the
Subul
game
Kleh.
into Sen's favor
Anjing,
here. Still
Tommy.
by
Tommy
Guard.
Tommy
They
ini
have some
anjing.
money in their pocket, so not too bad.
Tommy
Late Storm 2
Subasna.
available for Saya player and trying to initiate for him for mid control.
Teori
As after
naga,
the timing of the hunt
yeah.
from Dapper, we've
Tommy
already
Tes Aimnya kenapa rada deketer, gak tau emang begitu dia main.
this mid to be split. But once again, it's still Tens holding the other end with a Vandal in front of B main.
Oh, anjing, buff naga.
Now,
Ace.
the B main control has been a little bit more apparent here from Sentinel in the last
Hey!
few rounds. But in goes Saya player. Great chaos created by the Guard.
Goblok.
Yeah, a little bit of a
Sajam.
bad
Ayat.
piece off the
Gagal jadi
rendezvous
anchor.
points, allowing Trent to get a second kill there onto Shazam, and there's the
Jadwal
first- I
kagak
mean,
lu
this is the
ganti,
first
Ben.
lockdown, I think,
Kan
in
itu
the
jadwal buat
season
nanti
half.
ya. Rewel
Coming
benar
out here
lu,
from
hah?
Trent, and that allows here, at least for the
Nonton
Jadwal, Ben,
sematch
ganti, Ben.
doang.
and already Sentinels
Rewel.
fall back into the A
Jadwal
side
Ben
to
jadwal
save.
Ben, nggak bisa gitu Ben.
Nicely
Disediain
done. And this is
gratis.
actually what the
Nggak
Guard
nonton.
needs. Even though they have money, a lot of Breeze was
Yo,
plagued
Ben
with
nanya doang,
them
iya.
being just shut down on economy. So if they can
Itu
build
ya
this
pasti
up,
yang komen.
Komen goib itu.
players in, that's
Komen
much,
goib.
much better. They don't have to be dropping people. So 5-3 here as we get into round 9. Middle of the
Pas
map
laga lagi
starting to
bang,
get
aku
pressured a
candu.
little
Ah, ntar
bit.
nap.
That was a
Naga
pretty
gue jual aja
funky
kali ya.
round from the Guard.
10.000
The
sosiabas.
strategies they're coming out with here
Gue jual.
a little bit different. I think it'd be
Sepi.
credit to the assistant coach they added, Cupid after Masters.
Jadi
Comes in
notif
with
ini
kind of unconventional
sosial Ben.
strats. That might have
Anjing,
been
ngeri
one of
juga
the
di notif
ones that
sosial,
rolled
Bas.
the dice on. Nicely done.
Iya,
Tapi boleh juga sih.
Spawn was really able to get the trades.
Ntar kalau gua ngantuk gua record ya. Wah.
Who does that? They did. Who does
And I could
that?
maybe see Tens had that rendezvous point there because they had some
Main
sort
satu
of
berapa? Itu di atas ada
positioning
15-13
that
tuh.
maybe market should have been covered by somebody else here from that switch to allow Tens to get the top position to look back towards B main. But
Mobil
again, when
tronton
you're
bawa
gonna have
botol
to
yang
play a
nonton
time
kayak
against side
kon.
players' dashes,
Bercanda
it's
Ben. Lah,
not gonna be
lanjutin
as
dulu.
easy to
Baru
TP and
ngomong.
flick right away for the kill. So understandable that mistake
Koncet.
kind of happened, but that's great
Kontol
for the
ke
guard
koncet.
to narrow down that lead that Sentinels has built like they did on Breeze. But once
Yeah.
again, we have a close game
Oi,
early.
Sajam big.
Secure to come out and that pings up to
Oh,
one.
that's clean.
Pings up a second
Aduh,
one.
oke, nggak apa-apa. 3 orang. Kena setengah darah.
That's a hell of a lot of damage right there.
Maricho, nanti lah ya kita
Already
ganti
took
lagi.
basically a player out of the game. But still they stand as it's sorted across the members of the Guard.
Si Tren sih
How much does
masih
it slow them down?
konsisten anjing, nggak carry mulu.
They're holding back pretty far. They're playing a generic strat with their KJ, and that's just going to hold the B tiles. But they're initiators on that side this time, so it becomes difficult. It's all up to Jonah P to get
Phantomnya
them in
nuts.
if they decide to go A. Prowler towards B main, and Sentinels have some great reads here. They've pushed B main the first few rounds this time with the Prowler, and they are stacked towards Spike side right now.
Lu pada kagak tidur.
Spotted two on the attack.
Ini abis ini gue mau tidur.
At least spotted two defenders.
Makan pagi.
0 point on the attack courtesy of
Sambil nunggu lapar nih gue.
Gue sih nggak expect ada temen aja nonton ini Sentinel. Untung ada temen.
Musuh anjing kita temen apa?
Kan Macbeth gue ngomong. Padahal musuh juga. Woi. Aduh nggak ke itu. Loncat lagi Tens, berangkat. Hellnya, cakep. Satu lagi Hell, cakep banget Dapri. Oh my god. Anjir, line up. Oke.
That's greeted by Tens with another Guardian. Holding down the A main and
Ambil
also
bang,
allowing
bang.
Tens to get the duel to false in the next.
Asik, tur the
Deja
force.
vu, Dapper, same spot, behind Jenny, a quick 3K, instantly smothering the guard. Like you said, rest of it picked up there by Tens.
Website
with the Guardian.
Dapper.
It's so funny that he loves to
Dapper is
pick that up and he'll
daddy,
use it to get a
darap,
frag on
darap,
each
report
round too.
darap.
It works.
Yeah.
It works.
I mean,
Satu lagi ada yang ngimpi
you're
viewer.
a chamber,
I want
you
to be
can
Dapper.
Headshot with a headhunter, aim for the head with that gun.
Anjing itu
You have
kalau
a duel to false, one shot
kalau
kill.
moderatornya
Well,
Marlo
that
malu
Guardian
lonte
top of
itu
that,
masih
which is
jadi
basically a headhunter to really letting the heads.
Just clicking once, why not? Why not? There it is
Tens is the
again.
player that could do that.
6-4. Remember, we got a 7-5 first half on
Bang,
Breeze.
Dapri orang Cicahem
This
asli
team's still
nama
testing
emang
each other
iya.
greatly
Wow,
on
fakta
set.
yang baru.
That
Wow.
paranoia is exactly what got Garden from that cat side last time through
Delay,
Breeze.
delay.
Here it's used quite early and they aren't able to get too close.
Pulling
of
the
their
beam.
own, into A.
Yeah. But no kills
Tutup
still
srod.
allows them for the orb, allowing the null command to come out here on the attack. Zelsis
Aduh,
dancing
Zelsis.
around,
Gak
but
dapet
it's still gonna
timingnya.
be the guard opening it up towards the A side. Dapper's gonna have to try to go for a hero play, trying to spray through the smokes, but the door is just gonna close instead. An early
Asik, lihat tuh
5-on-3
Sajam.
with a plank going down for the guard.
Asik.
Still at least
Line
have
up.
sentinels
Anjir.
already and propped up here, two towards the garden. Prowler clearing out towards Cat, so they could gamble now to just push in from the door, not having it look back towards their backs. They could go for the
Hampir
double
si
smoke
Jona
if they
mati.
want to.
Itu. Cakep Sajam.
Leg now spotted as he
Oh,
gets the
nice.
headshot onto Trent.
Ayo, Tens.
Dapper answers
This
back
is your
with the
moment.
Jonah P, but it's still a player advantage going out for the guard on the post plant. And
Palinnya di hell lagi.
with that ult, looking back towards
Gimana
that
caranya,
B,
anjing
more
ini?
lineups being thrown here by Net.
Oh, 2 kali.
Playing that clock, turret now up. Things are looking good
Cakep.
at least. Maybe not for that one though. Shrouded step. On his right
Si
hand,
Darap
Ya.
kagak pasang badan.
last 2 kills. And that is the guard making it one.
Ya,
Ian
baca gua
Dapper
gagal
ada di
deh.
Discord. Ada Ian Dapper.
Yang
Ian
dapet
Dapper.
anjing.
Yang Dipra gitu.
Doing a
Oh, yeah,
really
deep
great
breath.
job of being able to pressure into these sites,
Ganda.
using that utility to at least get a few frags. Knowing where Shroud has been playing in the site, I think.
Ngomong streamer
helping
Indo ada
them
yang
at
ini nggak ya?
least, or they've stopped
Yang nobar.
smoking as much
Oh,
towards A
Bang
main.
Mon.
I think we've noticed maybe guard are activating too fast, or just between when Shroud's been able to get into those. But
Bang
they've been
Mon.
able to really encroach past
Reporsi,
what would be
Asteris,
gravity wells, get
Subaton.
themselves in. You see
Oh,
the pain
tidur
again
Asteris kalau
Montana.
nonton.
of which way they may want to go, what they might be
Montana.
facing if they do want to get to the
Asteris
site.
turu.
Early defensive 0 point smokes stars on this A spot just to hold down that alt orb.
Okay.
Apaan tuh?
He did his job. Net was trying to look for that push, fights back
Yeah.
for that one. But
Ya,
after
buta
the
srodnya.
attack, nice paranoia from Valen, but it's still a 1-for-1 on both extremities of that map. But now you hear that null command coming out from the defense, and that is going to be Zelsis just trying to slow things down for a
Ini
bit.
Zelsis nahan di Emin
Now
udah enak.
Dapper's already on the top. Zelsis looking to push forward.
Hell,
Battle
hell.
coming in towards Hell.
Ya, si
Puts up
Dapri.
Dapper. Dapper gets picked off by Trent. Zelsis looking for the overhand flash with a double
Wih,
swing after.
gila
But there
gun.
goes
Ya
Trent pushing
ilah
through,
lagi
and
pegang
that's a
panah.
great kill coming out and a great
So
goal
done.
from the guard. And just
Good
like
half,
that,
good half,
we have a
6-6.
repetition of Breeze where we
Switching
have another
side,
game in our
kita
hands. Let's
ini
take a
dulu.
break and see the continuation after that.
Half time soalnya break dulu. Ngeong.
On.
Kenceng kan? Ara-ara apa tuh?
10.000 dari Tramodol. Pesan, 2-1 Sentinel win.
21 Sentinel win. Oke, Tramodo, terima kasih 10.000-nya. Maaf tapi 2-0 kayaknya nih. Anjay, terbang nih gue nih. Kemana nih anjing? Oh,
Anjing. Anjing, boleh.
ayo improve lagi. Tim pagi ini. Ulang. Siapa yang kira-kira bakal champion dari NA? Jadi lah biar seru championnya, biar viewernya rame. Biar Valorant. Copyright gak ya nih lagu anjing? Bodo amat lah. Hop.
Over 500,000 viewers are currently watching this game. Hello, Valorant fans, and hopefully you're enjoying this matchup between Sentinels and the Guard, because I, of course, am. We thought, at least at the beginning of both of these maps, that it was just going to be Sentinels running away with their initiated bombs, but the Guard continued to find a way to fight back after timeouts and great reads coming out from MCE, allowing now the second half just to start on a fresh slate. But it starts aggressive. We have Celsius getting the first blood.
Asik sih.
Players are trying to go for the shark attack into the B-Link.
Sentinel menang ke champion di batai PR. Wah, asik sih itu.
Holy moly.
Terus dibantai per second
Quick back up by the Guard. Say, okay, we need to regroup. Sentinels.
Buat apaan tuh bang? Apa tuh?
Surfing. Right there. No need to push.
Surfing mah buat main
This
aja.
is what they do all the time. We saw this on Breeze. They keep back. They're slow. Saya player to have as your first one is so big. Set up a 2. Got a 3-1 right now. And it looks like they're actually going to choose right. Sentinels are going to wait this out a little bit more. Expect a lot of this round to go away and B. This little excursion, try and pull out a little bit more util. They want to see at least 1 or 2 members of what agents they'll be facing at these sites right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what a fake so far. Zels is almost in the B.
Exactly. 0-point recon dart, but
No
there's
fake,
still
anjir.
going to be that killjoy utility towards A main. So that's good delay being set up by Net and allowing this rotation to come back. And Sentinel seems like they just want to
Si
focus
saya
on taking this A site.
meninggal.
But it's a double push up on
Good fake,
catwalk, so
good
Net
fake.
has a
30
lot
seconds
into his
left.
hands right now.
Bak,
Fighting
itu
inside
ngetot
that
si Srod.
nebula. And as it dissipates, Elise gets the first
nice.
kill until he's traded off by Zelsis for
Si Srod jadi tukang plan doang, meninggal.
Back up Jenny, Trent twice back.
Yo, di flick atau stance.
And this is looking
Stupid
again,
Tens, anjing,
one of
tolol.
those clean retakes on
Tolol,
pistol
anjing,
for
Tens,
the
anjing.
Guard as now
Ganti ya main.
they take the
Tapi
lead.
ngeluarin Galga kayaknya ada dah.
Feeling good on their pistols. They're able to keep trading this. Dapper last time says it's ours. So from both
Masih
maps,
nyari switch kah,
1
Bang?
pistol
Hah?
each for these teams. They seem to trade
Apaan tuh,
pretty
Diot?
evenly when it comes to that. Now we'll get Marshall's on the next round. I'm just gonna keep it long range and safe here. Nice clean up with the frenzy. And they actually had a good lean on this, right? They had a bit of a play towards B.
Anjing.
They
Keyboard,
knew what was
kagak.
happening was basically a
Siapa
fake.
yang
They
nyari
didn't
switch?
fight
Itu pemain
on Celsius,
CS tuh.
showing
Yang tengah,
footsteps
Dik,
or
yang di atas,
walking
yang
towards
ketiga.
B. So the
Siapa?
guard had really good comm
Kayak
on that
otomatis,
to make
anjing.
sure they were
Oh,
clean.
kagak,
Lead
anjing.
towards A to start this one off as they switch where
Differensi
Net's
killnya
playing here for
21
round
sendiri
2.
ya.
He's at B with all of his utility.
Sumpah kayak otomatis anjing.
It's gonna be one of
Mimpi
those
dulu Sen
rounds
itu
where it
bukan
can get
e-sport
very
lu
hectic
bisa
too,
dibalas
'cause you're
ke
looking
FPX.
at a lot of firepower in
Yeah.
Sentinel's lineup versus a bunch of Spectres in close range battles being set up by the Guard. You see that they're edging and closing in on the defense.
Sentinel
just to
kayaknya
try
nggak
to
ada
close up
FT
on
dah, nggak
mid.
diliatin dari tadi.
They do spot a little bit of retaliation coming out from the
Buset, angle R
Sentinels
sih.
out towards Pizza.
Pixel pick nih. Kayak tadi nonton Pengabdi
I'm
Setan.
gonna stay quiet here, Red. We're really just trying to punish the Guard on mistakes off rotations. Tens is already posted up.
Perasaan gue
EDS
tadi
and
nonton
down
masih
towards
round
the
1 itu
headhunter
namanya
block towards
ketiduran lu,
See
Blan.
him. He's hungry. He's not jet play anymore. He's got to
Berasa ngedip sekali kan, padahal ketiduran lu.
He's antsy in these situations, but he used to
Anjing
be
tuh kayak gua nonton
Oh, berarti
Eternal
Om Toxic yang mau
0
custom
point
keyboard
over
pas itu.
towards kitchen,
Hah?
or kitchen market rather,
Iya kali.
as they get themselves to safety. A lot in the back of the site here. This is up to Trent. Net's just on the other side. It looks like Sentinels want it, but it's so slow down this lane side. Start off on 10 like that.
Tolol anjing si Tens dong anjing.
Dapat plan deh.
Ya ini mah map 3 peren.
Enak banget bangun jam segini.
Wah ya mah. Itu jadi molor ya anjing. Beli kupat tahu.
Kalau sampai game 3 aku off stream. Nonton di HP sampai ketiduran.
Nonton di Macbeth langsung lanjut sampai malam.
Macbeth lab, shot lab
sampai malam ntar.
Gantian.
Sampai PCT.
Saya player still deciding if he wants to go with a Marshall or not in this mid hold.
Udah lama main Valo nih.
Here we go, back to Marshall.
Oh, main sama Macbeth tuh.
Easy Marshall. He's actually at quite a few shots on Breeze on him, so he's feeling comfortable. Keep the money down.
Segila
Get an
itu sih udah
operator
lemas
as soon as
banget ini.
possible.
Belum
We saw
berak
double
hari
operator
ini.
being a
Belum mandi.
defense on
Ngantuk
Breeze.
ini,
Wants
Ben.
to double.
Gue belum mandi belum berak, Jul.
May see him trying to pull one of these out and play
Ntar sebelum
mid
Jumatan
in
dah
the
itu.
later rounds as we see with the Marshall here. Rotator lean coming in from Jonah P. It looks like
Pas
they'll
Jumatan
keep
biar
him on
kentut.
well watch. He's just jumping in the
Janganlah,
back spawn
anjing.
right
Jadi
now.
nahan gitu
And
nahan
Sentinels
kentut
continue
mau
moving
mati.
Nahan,
towards
kagak
this
khusus sholat gua,
composition
babi.
spread. Much different than the triple initiator we saw them play on Breeze. Slowly has
Bang, orang Bandung lean.
somewhere. This time it's going to be Shazam.
Punya tuh, bro.
Saya player has taken fate
Nggak
here
tahu
just to give an
Aura,
idea for Trent to
anjay.
get a frag.
Woi, nice stance.
That was so close because
Entot ya orang.
Ini
Ini Ron nggak boleh kalah ini.
So he can fall back into the B main. But at least we're still trying to delay with the smokes being thrown out on the defense, so they only lose one player in the process. Updraft coming out from Slayer player, trying to get a Marshall
kagak
kill, but
jadi.
that doesn't get any kills yet. Both make that all of Sentinels rotating back and looking to rotate towards the A site, where once again
Srod
we're
2
seeing
star,
why
oke.
this Killjoy is still
Smoke.
very useful for this composition.
Anjing, setapan
of the
Killjoy
guard.
babi nih,
It is.
delay.
It's a full lockdown for net.
Cakep.
Use that utility, still some insight. They have to get by being detected. This gives the rotation time. That's the important part. No fight is what Net wants right now. He's waiting for the team. They're waiting for the retake.
Susah jadi Srod ini, Jul. Main controller soalnya.
Susah deh.
Susah main controller tuh, anjir, susah banget.
Kayak
Magic.
Juan anjing.
Kayak Magic. Magic kan controller di timnya.
Valen decides otherwise, moving with the rest of the team on the top of heaven, and the late lurk from Net back towards
banget
to
main
cover
controller
mid,
tuh, anjir.
and then they're gonna try to retake and re-hit together.
Ya berani ngadu lah,
Nice
menang
little
main
zero
freak
point
kok.
coming out, at least from Jonah P. That's gonna ping a couple of
Yeah.
players down towards hell. A smoke towards the front. The paranoia.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be a great position at least for the Sentinels at hell to get
Berangkat.
all of these kills. But Jonah P. answers back for 3 kills.
Oke.
The backstab from Zelsa
Lumayan
after
mahal
all.
adik-adik ya mari
Finally,
3.
a Sentinel stops that bleeding on that
12 lanjut
retake from
apa?
the card, but that is 3
Paling beres
kills on the
Jumatan
bonus
ngopi-ngopi
round for the
bentar
guard.
ya, nonton pas Onyx lah, Pren.
Sentinels doing a good job of staying
Soalnya
alive.
kan
They
jam
did get a little
3.
messy towards the end.
Onyx
Akbar.
MTH
Guard doing
terus
themselves a
boom.
good job of
Boom
getting
bleed.
that money they need. There's the operator we were talking about now in the hands of Saya player. That's what the Marshall.
Gue masih main lagi.
You see that
Apa?
utility towards the back.
Bukan
Zero
apa mereka.
points had already been used at this
Yes,
point.
turun
And
lower
they
ya.
have an idea of what space
Yang lower
was
itu
being
Onyx.
played, which is why I think it
AE
made it so
pulang.
easy
Gua bukannya
for
kalah
Sentinels
tadi.
to be able to get in and
tadi
find the
AE.
shots they needed without
AE.
Oh tadi A ya.
Iya.
going to be aiming at them. Peek here? No. A quick smoke onto Cat. So they deny any peeks there and maybe get a bit of mid control after, and that's going to be Shazam at the top of mid, making sure they have a call on what's happening. KJ Utilities switch back over to B here for
Ntar tim
the
Secret
guard
lawan
fans.
Order mah nonton sendiri-sendiri aja lah ya.
Keep Sentinels guessing, and I think Sentinels are doing a pretty good
MTH
job
nggak
at
jadi
getting
tindak
close
lanjuti,
enough,
boosting
figuring
nggak
out
tahu,
if they
Pren,
might
udah.
be
Biarin
dealing
aja
with
urusan
Net's
panitia.
utility,
Kita mah
and
nonton
then
aja.
figuring out what would be the easiest course of action.
Hah, kenapa minta?
Keep those audio cues
Itu
coming up.
bug
If you
boost.
hear
Mhm.
a flash
Boosting
coming out
player
towards
kan
the A site,
kalau
you know
di
that there's a
peraturan
dark
tertulis
cover
nggak
for
ada
one
nggak
way
nggak
on the
boleh.
A site, then there's strong chances
Kenapa
that
nggak
you
boleh
could
boosting
fuck
player ya?
the rotations and
Boleh,
positioning
kalau
there
mau
of
naik-naik ke
that
atas gitu harus
Killjoy.
pakai
And now
utility.
going back into a one-way towards A main, Valen's
Kok
watching
gitu?
it from heaven.
Di peraturan kalau misalnya boleh boosting player mah tuh bisa dudukin player kayak di CS.
Iya anjing harusnya gitu kan keren ya loncat itu
Kalau
kayak
misalnya
zaman
kayak
dulu
gitu
tuh.
ntar dihujat dah. Wah, kayak CS sama aja.
Oh iya.
Itu udah beda banget ini sama CS. Susah anjing Valorant.
There's a one-way smoke here. coming in
Entot
from
Srod, buset, polos banget bisa
Crowd's
begitu
in.
anjing Oki.
That's the rest of the team has to follow.
Anjing santuy bener. Cakep.
For the guard. And you mentioned it, Shroud made it through, so he's able to answer back onto Saya player, but it's basically a 4
Ya.
He gets picked out by a haunt, and that's
Kok
a
dia diem?
beautiful wall bang by Trent.
Enggak, dia habis ke scan terus reposition tapi ketebak.
By himself, first headshot connects onto net.
Di flash nih, set. Iya. Dapat aja loh satu. Asik di tibek, tensi adik-adik.
It seemed like a bit of miscom there, just on the entry, right? As soon as they went to hit, Sentinels was actually hit with a bit of utility they weren't expecting. So as Shroud was able to make it, everybody else wasn't. It was kind of like a jet going forward and the team can't close deal. After that, your Smoker's inside who really wants to provide cover for the rest of the team and doesn't have angles covered. So Guard taking big advantage of that, nicely done to keep themselves in position there, not do too much rotating. They again switch the Killjoy play to keep Sentinels guessing. Sheriff play for Sentinels. This may be fast towards B. It looks like they'll keep it slow and look for some long-range shots. A 3-2 defense play here by the Guard.
Bisa gitu nggak suppress
Valen just continues to set up one ways at least.
Gampang tuh lah anak DBangkong.
They keep doing that precedent, even if there were a Sentinels player there or not.
Bocil Tens lebih ngeri dari bocil RP ya Allah.
For Trent, or Sliggy likes to call it a res, I think. Not too sure.
The res.
Yeah, what's the conversation, Sliggy, around that?
Yeah. Question.
That said, though, this is an eco coming out for Sentinels, just trying to see and try to get information at least for the defense, but I just wanted to get back to that before. That ping that we saw from the Haunt out from Trent to get that wallbang kill on the ground before is
Fake ban.
Trent was also kind of known to do these Aldron wallbangs too, so I like to do this on a different
Udah siap dia anjir.
being the Fae, getting as much value onto this agent as he would on the Sova.
Great damage on a Dapper there. See a little crossfire between the operator and
V1 version 1.
Real hard to be able to get past that defense. Tour de force now. Cat
One
looking
way
for a
smoke
shin,
landing.
looking for anything.
Si bisa
not gonna get it.
katanya Juan udah nggak bisa.
These one ways are a great job of
Dianya nggak bisa
slowing, but I'm not sure that's what stops them. Being slow on Breeze was how Sentinels gained a lot of their rounds. Guard doing what they can to create the one ways, but it seems like Sentinels will wait it out and still get to push through. Shroudy first again.
Srod sih disuruh masuk pertama mulu, buset. Ya, kena OC. Oke. Ya, keluar ke pisau.
Nggak 13-8 bener. Sentinel yang map.
Oh yeah.
Oh iya bener.
Being able to basically have things in order and fail safes. The Guard seems to have been setting up where Net is really, really well with that. And while it was a question, right?
Bocil Tens kalah nih sama Bocil Amoran, men.
Or sorry,
Bocil Amoran.
Killjoy now. It's like how much is
kalah.
really alter the map unless they're popping off. So I don't think we've seen much between that battle. If there was anything to be had. Guard happy, pumps, fist bumps around 10-7 here as they look to bring us to Icebox, our final map on this best of 3 series to start off the NALCQ. And we'll see how this one goes. Sentinels called a timeout. They've been able to break kind of the surface defense of what Guard is setting up. They again haven't been working too much mid, just like Breeze. They're working left, they're working right on the extremities, but again, this time they have a bit of a flank. They're usually working 2 players off, whether it be Dapper and Zelsis or Dapper 10, something like that. And it seems like they're trying to get more and more info out of Guard, but they're not allowing that game to happen anymore. They were read so quickly, and it seemed like downloaded early on Breeze before they adapted to that Sentinel strategy. Here, they're being very close to the chest with how they're defending, where they're defending, and Sentinels aren't having as easy as a time getting into sites.
Map 3 kira-kira siapa yang menang? Cloud9.
Now the storyline, at least now for the Guard, is that they're actually able to get a lot of value out of these 5 versus 4s, getting the first converting them into wins.
Si Dapri lagi main-main lele.
Going into stage 2
Anjing, saya player berlari banget.
At top of like the 70s.
Kenawan lo.
And it's all off.
Tawan lu, kabur lu. Kabur lu.
If it's not going to be on
Ayo lu.
Killjoy utility, it's still that KO smoke combo that works out quite well. And
selamat
finally,
lu.
Diselamatin sama Srod aja.
now in favor of Sentinels.
Itu sama
That's a
Srod
player
Srodnya.
falling
Apa
on mid
Srod?
for the Garden. That opens up a lot of that map opportunity.
Hands one tap lah.
For Sentinels as they're leading towards
Srod.
They were able to identify that it was Saya player that was out and in the open alone, but now this B has coming in, so forget about that.
The Nightfall also to ping out Valen inside that site.
Oi!
Cosmic Divide on the attack, but you don't need to be death if you see them.
Astagfirullahaladzim, orang sternya gagal. Gagal masuk orang sternya. Case.
Connected that one as well. And Shroud on a 2 versus 1. See what you got here, Shroudy.
Ya,
Nothing at all.
pecundang anjing,
As Net
tolol nih.
seals the ace.
Killjoy
He
anjing.
won that round
Diambil
through the guard.
anjing.
Spot main break
That
tuh.
last kill, really well played in the beginning by Sentinels. Your guard wins the round, but identifying Saya player was
kurang
kind
ada
of
yang
out and
popin-popin sini
scattered.
nih,
So a
Sentinel.
lot of crossfires set up in mid. Obviously, somebody's going to help him, and that was a first kill for Sentinels. Saving grace. Valen in sight. Holy crap. 4K coming up real quick. Able to completely shut down the 5v4 conversion that Sentinels was looking for. And that's exactly the round that Guard wants to put up. Having this type of lead on Sentinels.
Map 3
Puts them
kalah
back
nih,
down in the
Sentinel.
econ. Stinger by and
Bilang,
share
pasti
by.
susah
Sentinels
attackernya.
are going to have a
Dari
hard
duelist
time
tuh.
finding frags here. As again, the Guard are playing.
Harus main bener-bener strat
Tough to
utility.
get to. Saya play all the way down mid with an operator to start.
Hey, extremities, don't worry. Let's
Wow.
try mid. Nope, Saya's there with a knob. So that's an early 5 versus 4, but a eco for Sentinels trying to get inside the
Odin
site
lu.
for a plant. Trent holding the back of B with an Odin. Saya trying to go for some blind picks through the smoke. But it's still going to be just a great hold.
Anchornya 2 biji
Players
lagi di
back
B.
on top of that. And now as we're
Mending lari
forcing from the
CT lah.
lockdown, players to push towards the spawn. It's greeted by Shorty. It's greeted by Molly. And now the guard are one kill away
Rodi,
of
bodoh.
looking to lock down and send the forces to a third map. But it's the opshot that gets the miss.
12.
But still Trent
Apakah kan
comes in
OT
with the
adik-adik?
Odin. We
Tidak
might
kalah
see
lower,
this
iya.
third map
Kalah
in the
lower.
series, and I wouldn't want it any other way, Riv.
Neither would I. Everybody's stepping up that needs to. There, Saya player able to come up with a big
Nomor
frag. We
suara
saw
ada
some
di
from Jonah P
setting,
there.
iya.
Both of them, Saya and Jonah, account for 50% of the first duels coming into LCQ for the guard. So you'll always see them popping off, and they keep true to that. Saya with a big opening frag on that last round to help them bring it to match point. A lot of big plays all around. Valen stepping up too here. Star power showing through in the second map for the
Apa gak ada
guard.
FC? Ini Sentinel juga nggak ada.
Top spot in NA. A glimmer of
Lah,
that
kenapa nih?
being shown to us right now.
DC. Halo?
Looks like we're gonna get a quick pause on this.
I'm okay for
Technical
that pause.
pause
We
ini
need
mah.
a breather. We
Yeah,
need
yeah,
a breather to
Okay.
also explain or try to show and
Main lagi gua.
demonstrate. As finally on the scoreboard, Steven, Prince at
2 jam
25
technical
and
pause.
11 on this map so far, and I know he's put up some great numbers on the first map as well, being at 28 and 18 in that double overtime. So I just want to tie this in onto that 4K that Valen had before here, Riv, because that's one of those moments where after that 4K, you saw from the players' reaction that they just stood up and started screaming, feeling that heat, feeling the vibes, and it's the good old guard that we had from stage 1 that we didn't see too much during stage 2, and I'm loving this resurgence of the guard, especially against the Sentinels matchup where the last time that these two played against each other, this was like a 13-1 on that
ganti
second
map,
map in the
babi.
series for the guard, and they just basically thrashed Sentinels in that series.
Exactly.
Beli Navaha atau
It's
gacha
kinda
tuh.
that
Enggak, ini mah
nothing
dari
can break
servernya
this vibe
gratis.
feeling. You see in them every time you get the cams, every time they're making plays, even if they're down in members, you're like, well, they could still do
Pasang
it.
cheat
That
dulu.
is coming back a little bit because it was a gusto that was very much lost for them, and kind of Sentinels too, right? The guard we saw playing continuous compositions. They still had a few that they played since March, which would easily be downloaded by other teams. While those compositions might work, you can't really make them work if a team knows exactly how you're going to use it.
Ya,
So,
timeout si
Guard will
Degar,
call a
Gen.
timeout after this, using their
Goblok.
time efficiently to make sure they can solidify this last
The
round.
technical post
Probably
timeout
holding
juga,
a few
babi.
alts unless they know they'll necessarily secure
Saya
it.
mau tinggi Sentinel
So
nih.
they
Nggak pernah
can
main
have a
Selfless
fail
Life.
Gojek.
Surf ya.
but looking to close it out here.
Bentuk.
That operator again has been
Tamat
such
bentar,
a
Kak.
pivotal point
Ada
for
abang
the guard to
Sopikut.
convert rounds, whether it be on Breeze in our first map or here on
You
Ascent.
notice apa nih?
That's
You
been something
notice.
that we see the guard going very
Udah
frequently.
mulai tiba-tiba anjing.
Right back into
early.
it.
Couple of ults, as you mentioned before here, Null Command and Nightfall
Di sini turu,
available
ya.
for the retakes.
Subuhan dulu turu.
If they want to try to figure out how they want to cycle through this utility and the ultimates for the guard. Saya player with an operator also has Blade Storm, but it's going to be Sentinels taking the first step, push it aggressively towards tree. That
Ya,
forces
buta.
Null Command from
Ya,
P,
elah.
who
Buta
does
dua-duanya,
get a nice
kasihan,
kill
kena
onto
flash.
Ken, was totally blinded towards tree. A swing out from Wine that doesn't amass for a kill, so we're trying to fight back. We're clawing back here for Sentinels. They're at a player disadvantage, but all split up across the map. But here comes the Hunter's Fury on the attack.
Oh
Allowing
my
them to push
God,
forward from Dapper,
Shazam!
But it's not even needed.
Gila,
Shazam
kena
gets a
dua.
double kill with the Hunter's Fury. A player advantage going
Srod,
back
oh,
into the
okay.
Sentinels.
Dapper.
But Dapper lurks in to make it a
Terus
3
Srod.
versus 1. Now Saya
Srod
player with his
ke-plan,
operator
anjay.
and the Blade Storm available if he wants to. Just trying to see if it could catch one off guard as the plant.
Nah, ini 13-8 Jo. Deh.
Berapa jadinya bentar-bentar. Bentar dulu, Pren.
This is tough.
Hah?
I mean, he has that flank.
Udah mau pagi, gue sebentar.
Really have to peek that
Sok,
much
sok,
in.
sok.
Just because of like 5 simple seconds that went
Yeah.
down off that spike, you now see
Dilawan
Sayapara
ini.
opting to save his weapon.
I was going to be pretty amazed if he
Pecundang,
actually tried to go
anjing,
for that.
saya
He was
player,
walking
anjing.
forward with confidence. Only
Pecundang,
W keys
anjing.
to be pressed.
Nggak ada
but he did
mental,
find the
anjing.
S key.
Saya
Turns
fokus.
himself around and he heads back towards B.
Lawan anjing.
Saving the operator. Blade Storm is there as well. So if he gets himself into
Kalau
a
gue
tight
jadi coachnya
situation, he
lawan
can make this
ngentot.
work. I don't know. They're not going to go hunting. So Sentinels pick up a pretty clean round. You can see most of the action there coming through tree. It has been how Sentinels have wanted to fight these situations, making sure they either get the smoke or a full fight with somebody in tree. The one-way smokes have not been something they want to deal with at the A main area unless it's just kind of for the post-plant retake. But again, here you see the push through right up the gut with Hunter's Fury, and it makes it so hard to defend this position. And Shazam knows that, especially this late in the round with how Sentinels, again, try to read the rotations. The timing was there.
Yeah. And even Dapper eating one pulse off his teammate's Hunter's Fury to break the timing off the rotation back from Trent with that Odin. So this is some very nice scaling from Sentinels going into understanding where the positioning was from the guard in that mid round. This round, though, as we had that timeout previously from the guard, we couldn't close it out, but thankfully we still have a lot of utility and economy, rather, and a Nightfall still available.
Oh, no.
Player trying to go through the smoke, dashes away, couldn't get the kill, and pulls out a Blade Storm. But mid control, under slight control as Trent plays the off angle. First kill on the Celsius. Updraft coming out in 10, swings out with the Vandal running gun to make it a 4-on versus 4.
The smoke there just denying the angle those two wanted to use to actually have a crossfire. 10's approaching it perfectly to get his frag. Now in the 4v4, it looks like they will start to pressure a bit towards that left side, and this is one of the only times we've seen Sentinels try to work towards mid. Taking down Trent's going to be a huge one because he has been so pivotal in being able to shut down these site takes. B is going to be the idea as Shroud prepares the stars.
That's no Nightfall for the retake too, so you're hoping that those daggers are going to refresh from side player with him landing as many shots of the Blade Storm as he can, because he's going to be by himself in the site. The Paranoia is already wasted by Valen in the back. First top shot connects, but it gets traded out instantly by Shroud.
What
And
a
that's a
trade,
plan
man.
coming down now for Sentinels, and we're still far away from the rotate.
Oke, serot, serot, oke, serot. Belum,
It's going to be a pretty far rotate from Jonah P.
Pecundang aja si Srod ini.
Looks like they'll hold on the exits here, at least for now. Jonah P's movement super slow towards tower.
Besok pagi streaming ngadu.
They're
Ya
going to be
harusnya nggak
entering the
seperti
site.
ini.
Valen at least wants these frags. Jonah's going to have to move a little bit faster if they really want to use all the utility correctly.
You're happy that Tenz is still alive because that forced Jonah P to break that trademark. So he has to give his position away. It's a 2 versus 1. Both players from Sentinels holding in the back of the site. A switch of weapons and also a switch in terms of decisions, not trying to go for that 2 versus 1. And we're saving our gun into the next. We're going to try to fight again. But as I talk about ultimates that are still available, let's keep an eye out on that Nightfall from Trent.
See if he can use it. Nice job by Sentinels there, encroaching, getting onto the site, but making sure that they're doing it without really having to take fights, right? And if they do, there's multiple members to answer onto that fight. We saw as soon as Sayatip player took a shot, he was shot. That's why he was tagged and couldn't get out of that situation, right? He had already dashed backwards from what we saw in mid. So it actually is incredible that they were able to find him again in one of their first engages to be able to take that operator out. Sentinels are doing a really good job of feeling out the map. They're going to probably meet a little bit of defense here coming out of B main. Guard for the first time trying to get a hold of their own extremities. And different one-ways being thrown now towards A. It's like the Prowler just gets shot out here, and Trent is aware that it's going to be Dapper on the other side. Roll command.
Broken early. This is a fake right now for Zelsis. He's just unloading right now as they're moving back up towards tree.
Oh, belum kalah, bro.
Now spotting
Belum,
net
man.
towards that mid on that garden. And Zelsis, as he runs away, still gets a kill onto Jonah.
Asik juga nih, hotel lagi kah?
It's a great start now for Sentinels to get back into the A site.
Nggak tahu nih.
As they tried to cross over before,
Masih
they're
nggak,
always stopped by this garden. At least we're able to get into the site this time for
Belum
Sentinels.
terang,
sih
lagi
jadi
masih
entry.
gelap,
Another
Cok.
one of those situations
Jadi
where we might
entry
have to
mulu ya?
save here.
Iya.
Entry fragger
Fire
mulu.
player breaking at least the
Pas streamernya hilang, ya, bacot.
trademark out towards B main, but look at that, they're just playing back towards spawn.
Udah tidur belum? Baru habis subuhan tadi gue.
Fans,
Baru lihat nih gue
They
nih.
have a 5-round cushion riv.
I honestly start
Ban.
to get flashbacks
di-
of how Sentinels were able to basically start to control the game when on their
samping lagi.
how they started to change their play style.
Tadi pakai
It
Viper.
looked like why didn't they bring this out before? And again,
Oh, dari
yeah,
Astra.
this method where they're
Tadi mati
basically
mulu sih.
getting in and one player of the guard is down and the guard is saving. Right, it's literally
Apa
surgical
kabar,
for these last
bacot
few rounds
Batam.
where the guard
John
can't
Member Batam.
use the operator, can't use a few ultimates. You said Trent, let's watch that Nightfall. Can't
Lu nggak
get
nonton,
that
Tam?
usage in still
nggak
because
dilawan?
Masih pada main
Sentinels
Apex.
is playing, guarding themselves, and prepping the
nggak di
defense
retake,
as they're moving
Apa?
forward.
4 lawan 5
Gak ada
kenapa?
duit,
Maybe
gak ada
four
duit.
goes stale on that
Oh,
one,
nggak ada
but
duit.
goes in favor of Sentinels.
Kalau
bringing
mati
within
semua
two.
itu
Game point
miskin.
still for the guard. They were right there to tip this one over and get us into
Gua nonton
Icebox.
bareng abang. Ya, join member dulu dong.
This is getting very, very interesting, definitely in this matchup, and this is not, as you mentioned here, Rev, one of the first times.
Anjing,
Ini
kalau
kalau
OT
OT
sih
lagi
ngeri
terus
banget.
terus menang lagi Sentinel ini kasihan dah dengar tuh.
Gila, asli.
Sentinels versus 100 Thieves, and probably a flashback.
Tapi mending gitu sih biar cepet, men.
When you had Tens get that 3K onto Haven, I know you're watching here, Eco, and
Enaknya
sorry to
sarapan
bring that
apa
back
ya?
to you.
Wah, nasi uduk sih enak.
But now
Kupat
Sentinels
tahu,
are 2
men.
rounds away to force another overtime
tahi
in
juga
this
enak.
game. Economy's still good for the guard, but it's quick for Sentinels inside the B site.
Wah.
Dapper somehow
Nice
flips
pick,
into the
Dapri.
kill
What?
to Trent. Back of the site now is going to be Net being hit by
Gak sia-sia
concussed from
nonton
that
channel
goal
DBangkong,
pulse.
bro.
Net is trying to stay alive.
Ya,
with that
JLC
nice
kebutaan
flash
tuh,
coming out because
kebutaan.
Zelda was
Ya,
full
satu
fire
lagi.
from Tens, and Net was still ready off
Emang
that
lu
kill.
harapan gua
That's
Japri.
off that.
Ya.
Coming out and Net is
Net.
holding down towards the back
Ya,
of the site.
GG ini mama 3 adik-adik ya.
What a hold
Tolol
right now
banget,
from Net and the
anjing.
rest of the
GG,
guard
GG.
in the back of
Sih.
the B site, and we are
Di
going
smoke
to
begitu
the
sih.
third map.
I'm so ready for this third map. I feel like
Okay.
Icebox is the one that kind
Paling gua
of
hilang,
knows
babi.
really sort
Ada
out
tadi gua.
how these teams have played,
Yeah.
what they've been working on. I
I'm
feel
so
like the
tired
last
for
two
trim
maps are
map,
breeze,
anjing.
straightforward, a little bit more of a shooting range. Ascent will put you
Aduh.
close and figure out how well you can work in anchoring each
Ini
other.
kalau
But
kagak
Icebox,
Jumatan mah ya
about
Jul ya
those
gua gas
rotations,
asli Jul.
really about the
Asli,
site
men,
takes and
cantik
retakes.
gua
I
juga, men.
cannot
Ini
wait to
apaan
see
ini,
what these
anjing?
teams have for each other as we're going to a
Apa?
third map.
Enggak
Same thing
surfnya
for
apaan nih,
Sentinels. I
anjing?
mean, when
Oh.
Edgar was talking about it on the analyst
Gini
desk
dulu.
where there was some struggles, hit or miss for Ascent for that very team, I felt that we had some
kemana,
similar
anjing?
storylines for Sentinels on this map as well. But now this is a brand new page. We want to know what they're going to pull out here on Icebox, and what does the guard have ready
Icebox
for
terus,
us
Ben.
for Icebox as well. And
Oh,
we'll
ke bawah
yang
situ
miring,
ya.
yang miring.
Oh, enggak ada yang bisa ini. Oh, ke sono anjing aneh banget. Ini sini gitu. Oh iya anjir. Buset, finishnya susah banget. Tuh kayak map 3 enggak, dapetnya setengah 6 anjir.
Sama men, ngantuk.
Lu mau tidur pada?
Tidur.
Ya udahlah men. Kita dulu men.
Men.
Yaudah men. Makasih semuanya adik-adik yang udah nonton debut babang srod. Map ketiganya nonton sendiri-sendiri aja ya. Nanti kita habis Jumatan sekitar jam 3-an aja nonton si Onik ya. Onik. Yang masih mau lanjut YouTube nih paling gua pindahin ke Bang Os ya adik-adik ya. Salam buat Bang Os, oke? TYD semuanya, sampai jumpa nanti sore. Dadah. Ya, salam ke Bang Os ya. Torarareng teng 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 torereng taret taret. Apakah fiturnya bisa? Bentar ya. Oh bisa guys fiturnya. Oke dadah.